So that thing we were talking about, um, in chat, I would only thing I have is the name. That's only thing I really wanted to come up with. I figured everything else would kind of fall under you.
Yep, they'll come up eventually, right?
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna put a name for now and then figure out the last name.
Sure.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Did you by chance get any art for your character? Oh, right there. Beautiful that. Okay. I will make a token for you. If you want to go to, I'm going to send you a website for reactive images, so that people can see who's talking.
I definitely have used that before, but I don't know where I put it, so probably best send it to me.
Sure. If you follow that link and put in that token, then we can, or put in that like thing as a token, using preferably.
Oh right, I have the one that I saved, which is my Dino one, and it's so dorky.
That one. If you use that website,
I have made a token, in fact, already.
Okay, perfect, beautiful. Just so that we're all using circular things in unison, other than Wu, who is a Ku, and Viovid, who has his own little logo that he uses. I have gotten
which one
feedback
do
that
you
they
want?
do love, in fact, seeing a Ku in the corner, so I'm gonna just keep that like that forever.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think
Who doesn't love seeing that coup?
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. What do you prefer? I guess we didn't even get that far. Is it Dino, or is it DD, or what? What's the best?
Okay, so I'm called Dino a lot, so I'm used to it, but it is supposed to be Dino.
It is
either
supposed
works.
To be... Okay, Dino. Gotcha.
Either of them works.
We didn't even get that far, so all right, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind. And I saw, is your character's name Swan or Suan?
Swan.
Swan. Okay. All right. I thought it would be Swan. Just making sure. All right. And then if we go here and we go to properties, and now that you're in here, there we go, beautiful. And I just moved that token to the right. And once everybody's feeling comfortable and ready to go, we can start right away. Let me close out of that. Everybody's looking at the sort of stock image of Halhazar right now, right? Nobody's anywhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
And we won't be staying here for long. We'll be getting to Swan pretty quickly right off the bat. How was everybody's week, though?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? That's good.
Pretty good. Oh, what does the hammer do again? It's like...
That is included in its description, in that item description.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you actually just make an attack roll with it, you can read out what it does. It's cold, Viovid? Yeah, it's freezing up here too.
$23 with just a red. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
That's really cool.
So with that hammer and your grandpa's hammer, if you wanted to, you could attune that hammer to a certain specific thing, so you have a set use for that tool. So you'll always make things out of the same material. But what this one does is it basically guarantees that if you keep using the random properties, you will make armor piece or a weapon or something like that that has completely random effects to it by comparison to other like normal items.
Okay, so if like I use this to create like the full piece, then it'll just have like one of those at random, or is it like it'll just be
Those
whatever the one the last hit is?
those combine when they interact with one another, those different elements, and they start giving additional features, or just different ones rather. So whatever you end up with is based on how many times like you have hit that with different elements, and it will give you a specific like use and purpose and ability based on what you've combined all together.
Okay.
If you were to keep it with just one, it would have the effect of just that one element. But as soon as you start combining them, they begin to have different effects.
Different effects.
Yep. And
okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Something
we'll just
to play
have
around
to see.
with. Yeah. And that tool could be used for a whole bunch of different things too. That could help with tinkering. That can help with all different sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, did you figure out how to turn the Fred boat all the way down if you need to? You can just deafen it if you have to. Oh, he's muted and deafened. Why am I even talking? If you already got some new stuff on your backstory, I'll take a look. Okay, cool. We will we'll see if we end up back there sometime soon. That would be cool. Or if they come and pay you a visit at some point. All right. We'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll start.
Oh, sure.
Matt, you get your audio good? Is it all figured out?
Okay. Okay, muted Fred boat. I can not hear barred core at the moment, and that's a beautiful thing.
we saw it as a somebody started playing it as I just requested music, and I thought it was funny. And I also didn't get any copyright strikes from it, so I was like, okay, well, that's fine.
Well, no, I get that. It was the fact that it was blaring.
Yeah, it's
out
super
of
loud. I have it at 1%, and it's still a little loud. So.
But yeah, Discord's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. It's good we get these things figured out. And I can always change it to something quieter. It might just be this.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, actually, hold on. I figured out the other day that it bases it off of my YouTube settings sometimes. No, that didn't do anything. All right. I think we'll start. We don't need everybody right off the bat. It is the late afternoon, almost the evening, just about bedtime for most of us. As you guys had a kind of rough day in introduction to our story. Bran died. We met our friend Bran in the street as he escaped prison. A mysterious capturing at the hands of the Capitol Guard. He's unsure of what happened, but he was able to make it out with his friend and meet one of the members of the Fate Given, who had welcomed most of our party currently into the sanctuary that is the Chantry of the Dawn, gave them a place to live, and kind of kept them safe during this time where they have found that they are being hunted down due to their sort of abilities or their stance in the world. They're not quite sure what is happening or what the intention is, but they narrowly escaped capture and death at the hand of a sundered creature, this dark entity that they had fought off. We are actually going to not continue our story with our adventures within Hel Hazar. We are going to travel across just a few thousand miles away from the capital city to the Grand Feywood, the Grove, a nation comprised entirely of jungle and forest, the land of the Fey, and planar portals that bring in great beasts that flow from within the grove outward. Stories of great trees and walking mountains originate from this land. It is a strange and wild place. We track an individual currently running for their lives, as they were currently not able to get the help that they needed in these very troubling times. A great blight, this sort of disgusting, corrupting nature has entered the grove and has begun consuming the trees, forcing them to come alive and chase after the villagers of Swancheese Village, our new arrival. Swan, you currently find yourself within a very dense forest. And for this, I am actually going to ask you to roll initiative for me.
Oh boy, that's what I like to hear as my first action of the day.
Right off the bat, yes. Go ahead and place yourself somewhere on the map. It does not matter where.
All right, probably should have done that first.
All right. I see objects and tokens. Okay. Go ahead and, at the start of your turn, go ahead and make me a perception check. As you run through this glade. The villagers sent you away, to try to run away as the town around you began to start to creak and groan, the trees themselves sort of crying out in pain. You ran for several minutes now, but you hear the sound of skittering footsteps behind you, as seemingly something is prowling after you. You got a single look at what faces you, what had been attacking those within your village, looking for something, until it cast its eyes on you. 3 green eyes on either side of its face, a total of 6. This sort of ooey, this gross, disgusting congregation of what seems like decay and plant life is chasing after you, flanked by smaller versions of itself. Go ahead. Yeah.
You said perception?
Perception check. Go ahead and try to find out where the... Okay. With an absolutely keen eye, you can see individually through the different marks of the forest that they are roughly 30 feet away. The very first one, flanked by them, smaller. These little blighted creatures are chasing after you. And in the back, you can hear and see it. You can also smell it. A great giant creature, this six-eyed beast, lumbering through the wood. As it walks, mushrooms. This spore-like entity is creating this roaming death as it travels throughout this wood towards you. I will go ahead and start adding the little bad guys. I forgot to upload. There we go. All right. Let's see. On your turn, is there anything you'd like to do as your action against this first beast?
I am currently running for my life, so I would like to action dash to get away further.
Okay, good. Go ahead and take your movement around. This is 5-foot squares. You can go wherever you like. And if you run off the map, then go ahead and start making checks for me. Athletics checks to try to get away from these creatures. On their turn, let's see. They're going to try to keep pace with you. And with your passive perception, you see, and with your current check, you see two others make their way from the bottom. Let's see, there we go.
Not good. Very not good.
And they use their actions to try to catch up to you as best as they can. At the very back, you see this grand beast lumbering towards you. I had uploaded these guys. I don't know what happened to them. I had just done it. Oh, there he is. You see now his sort of strange list of appendages. He looks entirely wooden, perhaps some aspects of dirt, but you can see an aspect of green, this sort of ooze wriggling within him like some sort of larva of sorts. With your passive perception, you notice that there is a figure in the tree just ahead of you. Seemingly, honestly, your passive perception is so high I can't even make these vague. Your keen eye grabs the figure of a woman sitting within a tree just ahead of you.
Can I tell if they're hostile at all?
They seem to be lying in wait and keeping an eye on you. They don't see any. They seem unlike a creature that you have faced in the world so far. You have not met a creature such as this. I don't believe. Based on how long or how often have you gotten out of the grove?
Not very regularly.
Okay, it is a massive grove. It is several thousand miles in length. So if I mean, you've met maybe 2 or 3 of these creatures before. It's gonna sound weird when I say this. They are just a human sitting within this tree. I will add their token momentarily once I get them. It's your turn again. What would you like to do?
Not knowing if that is an enemy or possibly help, I'm simply going to attempt to avoid them while still running from these. So, I will dash once again, but I will go this way.
Okay. And taking that sort of winding path, the other creatures, these blights, begin tracing, and you watch as they actually scale up this stone, and then jump off of it, seemingly unimpaired from the difference in height of the stone. You watch as one jumps upon this great rock in the middle of this wood, and is going to throw a sort of wooden line of its body, a makeshift spear, towards you. I don't believe an 11 hits.
It does not.
No. Yeah, you watch as they sort of skirt past your ankle as you run past. They are catching up, but not quite. To the degree that this giant creature would like. He is going to use his movement to accelerate towards you at a very great speed, crashing through trees, pushing one over. You watch as its roots from behind you open up from the ground. Yeah, this is very chill music for what is happening. That is true. He takes a orb of his body and makes a very similar attack. This time a great boulder of this wood, a clump of ooze, scatters. Let me see. Oh, that's the wrong tool. 60 foot, and then from here, go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw as this great boulder is thrown towards you. With a 15, you succeed. You watch as this sort of bile, this gross mixture of oozes, explodes behind you, and you are untouched. But you watch as the ground behind you begins to decay. You watch as this woman, she jumps from the tree, and sort of draws this bow as she's midair. And is going to take attacks at the smaller creatures. One will miss, one will hit. You watch as the arrow splinters through one of the blights, wounding it very grievously. It is looking quite hurt. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I seem to be getting some sort of help, but I still don't trust them. I'm going to move 30. I'm going to move 30 feet here, and then I'm going to use my shapeshifter action.
Okay. And what do you shapeshift into?
I can only shapeshift into a poisonous snake.
I'm just giving context for everybody else.
Fair.
You turn into this writhing snake and become very almost invisible to most of these creatures. They will actually not understand what's happening as you disappear. They're not especially intelligent, and they're going to spend their turn trying to figure out what happened as they still continue to move closer to you, but now this time at a hesitant pace. This one, barely noticing what attacked him, seemingly almost feverishly chasing after you. You seem hidden for the moment in this current state. The beast behind you, however, does not share that impairment, and picks up this blight and throws it towards you. I'm going to roll an attack. Okay. Smashing towards you, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay. Go ahead, you take... Wow, okay. You only take 6 bludgeoning damage as this creature is thrown into you. It still does not know where you are. It is bewildered, and it is very wounded. This ranger then, you watch as her form quickens. You watch as her eyes glow this deep green, and she begins to sort of judder in place. She draws 2 blades, and in the course of her single turn, manages to, with advantage twice, she will make 2 attacks on each of those other blights. That is a hit. These verdant green blades come from her body as she summons them forth, seemingly from her sides, appearing out of nowhere, and slices these 2 down. They are dead. I will get her token on in just a moment. Try to push this along. There is now just the blight ahead of you, and the one barreling down on both towards you now, and this blight. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't like this guy being on top of me. I'm going to bite them.
Okay. Go ahead and make the attack. Alright. Alright. With a 10, that's going to miss, actually. But you have your bonus action, should you wish to make a secondary attack.
I indeed would like to do that.
Yes, go ahead. 16 definitely hits. And with 13, you do kill this blight. It is dead. Alright. Unless it's resistant, which I don't believe it is, to that type of damage.
They have to make a con save.
Con
or
save
they
for
take
it? Do
half.
they? Okay.
Yeah. So they take a con save DC 10. If they pass, they take half damage.
Sure.
From just the poison.
Yeah, they do fail with a 4 total. No, with a 5 total, so they are dead. Now all that remains is you 2 and this great beast that is barreling towards you. Give me just 1 second. I have the token done. But you see as her form continues to sort of judder around, there is something almost otherworldly about her current set of just pure agility, as she is seemingly running interference between you and the creature. It is the creature's turn, though. It is going to now run towards her with this sort of rage. It is going to try to pick her up, and it will do so, and it is going to slam her into the ground. And he does so with a great effect. She is currently grappled within his great hand. She takes a considerable amount of damage after being thrown into the ground. And you see as the ooze begins to leak from his body, it burns her skin ever so slightly, taking just 1 poison damage or acid damage from the attack. Go ahead. It is her turn, I suppose. I should let her do her thing. Currently, you watch as she teleports from his hand, seemingly, 30 feet up into the air, and comes down along his back with 2 attacks at advantage. Alright, 1 will hit. And you watch as the beast is wounded very, very viciously. You watch as his carapace begins to crack down his side. He takes a swing back in response due to this attack, and he connects with the individual, dealing another serious blow as she's knocked back 10 feet from her, from the giant beast, and he turns his gaze towards you again. What do you do?
Well, bad decisions always start at level 1. I go bite.
Okay. This little snake comes up to this great creature and attempts to make a bite. Ooh, the 17 will hit, though. If not just barely, the 13 will not. He is immune to poison, but
A
the
shame.
piercing damage does land, and you watch him like react in pain as you go and bite him. He's not able to respond to this attack. He has used his reaction. He will, however, make a great wallop or two against you, as you are now within his space, and he's going to hit twice. You are hit for 10 bludgeoning damage.
Haha, I'm down.
Okay. And then the second attack will not hit you. He will instead go and hit towards his assailant. You watch as the assailant parries that blow, given her armor class, and on her turn teleports to you, puts her hand upon you, and restores 5 hit points to you. You are brought up, and then she reaches towards you and says, "Come, we gotta get out of here. Come on!" And offers her hand.
When I am incapacitated, I return back to my human form. That's
Okay.
for Voivod.
Gotcha.
And just in general.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So how do you respond? It is your turn.
Yep. Time to go.
She grabs her hand, and you feel almost this synergism with this person. You feel connected in some way. At this moment, they seem incredibly familiar all of a sudden, as she takes out this stone from her hand and begins an incantation. You watch as this creature starts hammering his fists along a sort of orange shield that glimmers with this blue energy as she has this stone within her palm. On your turn, you regain another 5 hit points additionally. He is unable to pass through this barrier. He kind of sits there looking at you, these 6 eyes gazing towards you. Is there anything you'd like to do? She seems to be doing this sort of incantation, and you know that something is about to happen at the start of her next turn.
I will pull out one of my daggers and ready it in case something goes wrong,
Okay.
but otherwise hold.
All right. And as you hold, it is a very wise decision. You are teleported out of this region and shifted into a location far within the wood. This stone, having expended its use, turns a dark gray, and you two are currently safe. She kind of pants, looking very bruised, almost as much as you were until you were just healed for 10 hit points. She kind of pants, lets everything kind of, settle down for a minute. She looks to you. That was bad. Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Just call me Sam. That's my name. I was sent to collect a young woman from your village. It was prophesied that an individual of great importance was going to be born soon, or chosen at the very least, one of those two. We weren't sure. I was unfamiliar with these woods, and I think I got here just at the right time to save at least you. I have to head back, though. Something's going to continue to attack that place. Do you know what that was? Do you know anything that's going on? I'm not familiar with what's going on, and my organization has been under fire for a few days now.
I have no idea. These things just attacked my tribe.
I've heard that the Grove can sometimes conjure great violent things, but that seems foreign to me. I don't know if you had seen anything similar to it before. I'm not from here. Well, all right. How about I've used the stone for the day. I can't go back. Why don't we rest for a bit? Kind of take stock of where we are. What the stone does is it just takes me somewhere random, a distance away. It's sort of an escape method. The other one I have and she takes out a much larger stone. This will take me far away, but it takes time to use. Why don't we make camp or something? Why don't we rest for a minute? I'll get you back to your people when I can.
I suppose that is a good idea, yes.
And you watch as Sam kind of begins to start to gather local things and makes a makeshift camp in the middle of this wood, not causing a fire, noticeably. You would know that fires within the grove tend to end poorly. The local treants and things like that are not well liking of open flame. What do you do in this time?
In this time, she's just going to, just still slightly wary, even though they saved her life. Just kind of like keep like eyes on Sam just in case. But otherwise, she's just sitting down resting.
Okay. You watch as Sam like has to like take a moment and she makes like a bedroll, and she takes a short nap herself. She actually like falls completely asleep. And you watch as her wounds quickly heal over that time. A sort of regenerative process undertakes just before you. And after not long, she is back up and kind of moving around, foraging for stuff nearby. She returns. Is there anything that you well, tell me about yourself. Is there anything you do? Anything that you excel in? What are you? I saw that you transformed. Is that something your people can do? What's?
That is something that we can do. Yes, transform into an animal.
I heard that the druids could do such things, but it took a magical nature. Is that an innate just thing that you guys have? It's quite incredible. You must be very attuned to the natural life. Yeah, I don't remember any of your species coming up in any of the Far Seekers Guild's books or anything like that we grew up with. Do you know of any others that are around here? Different individuals of different like tribes and things like that within the wood, or are you scattered? Are there a lot of you? I've never met anything like you before.
As the more questions just keep coming and coming, you see she's getting more distinctly uncomfortable.
Yes, and you think that maybe this individual is either new at her job or is just a very curious soul. Well, either way, and she kind of dismisses it. I'm Samantha Whitcaller. I was sent from my organization, the Fate Given, to locate one of the new ones that was prophesied to have been born here. I don't know if you had... Well, you were being hunted. Surely. But I don't seem to recognize any sort of resonance off you. You seem normal. This is odd. And you don't really know what she's talking about.
She blinks
right?
at that one.
Yeah.
You seem normal. I'd hope so. I am normal.
Well, there's always a chance. Why don't we rest for the night, and we'll talk about that in the morning. We'll see if something happens by then.
Suppose that's a good idea. I am still tired from trying to run.
I'll keep watch. Don't worry about that. I have a drink here that keeps me awake for a while. Makes me have to sleep less. Keeps me vigilant. So, you take care. I've only got enough for this one journey. It's like coffee on crack, Voivod. Yeah, it's
espresso.
Yes, it's like hyper espresso. Yeah. You watch as it's
I almost
almost
spit
like
my drink out at that one.
It's like a greenish, like blackish goo. It's almost like a soup. It looks to be like some sort of like fungal mold mixed in a drink. And as she huffs it and then she drinks it, as night overtakes the grove. what do you do to rest? How does that what does that look like? You've escaped this place, but these groves are more or less your homeland, and they are very friendly to your kind. Where do you find rest?
If there's any trees nearby, she preferably would climb up a tree and rest in the tree.
Yeah, and you watch as the tree itself actually bends and shifts as you climb it, and makes it easier for you to ascend, and actually makes it like widens its branch, making almost like a crook of an arm, as you kind of find a place to sleep in there. That night, you do in fact, of course, have a dream. You feel like your body is being lifted. You return to your your snake form. You find yourself clutched in the claws of a raven within this almost starry world. You're being flown somewhere. You see a small spinning platform ahead of you as night overtakes both the Grove and Helhazar. We have our party unite within the sphere of the landing once again. A ceremony of choosing, as, let's see, Jimbo and a few others see this sort of raven flying this creature within its claw to hello Ian, to this sort of platform. Go ahead and place your guys wherever you'd like. All right. I'll drag your token on there if you need to. Everybody is currently in the space. Do you have landing music? I do not have landing music. I can make it be the spooky stuff though. Let me see. If we're not digging the bardcore. Commands chat. All right. Swan. Oh, maybe I did. Swan, you appear in this space. There are other individuals kind of looking at you, in either mild states of shock or surprise, that they had returned to the space. A first for you. You land upon this great platform. It seems to be a tomb of sorts. What do you do and say?
Well, I was dropped here as a snake, so first off,
Yeah.
I turn into my human form, and I just look around. Where am I?
Oh, well, hello. You're not the shark man I remember.
No.
I see we're back here again. Out of character, do we know what we did prior to being here?
Currently, I mean, that was the end of you guys like meditating and learning how to. Well, some of you doing that. Otherwise, you had just met at the Chantry of the Dawn, and you know.
Because I remember we were at the Chantry.
Yep.
I asked how to meditate, and then I went here, but no one was here.
Yeah, nobody was here. Mr. Soli's even gone. You
Right.
arrive here in this space, another dream, seemingly there to help this individual either make their choice or just guide them along what is currently happening, as Mr. Sol is out and busy, currently tending to other matters.
Well, let's see. My name is Jimmy John Jameson Jones, but you can call me Jimbo. I go to shake your hand.
She backs up as you approach.
Nope. Well, no, I mean no harm. does anybody want to explain to her in better words than I can what happened and what's happening?
I suppose I could. I'd say welcome, but this is not my space. You are currently in a dream. We all are. And here is where we were given a choice. Around you, you can see many tombstones, and on them, different names and pictures. Feel free to look around. But if you want to inhabit the powers that each will provide, all you need to do is touch it and accept it. We have all done so already, and well, it's my first time seeing you. I assume you are also one of us. What's your name?
One of what?
We are, well, it feels funny because I just recently learned of this. But I'm gonna point to this thing. It's a coffin. Is it closed right now or is it open?
It's currently closed.
Closed, okay. So in here was the host of this place. He called himself Mr. Soul. He was basically a simple skeleton, but possessed incredible knowledge and power and wisdom, for he is pretty, how do I even say it? He's almost like a god.
He's like a step under a god.
He transcends time almost. It's pretty bizarre. I don't fully understand it myself. I'm gonna walk up to it because I don't actually know he's not here, do I?
He's just not standing in the coffin like he was earlier. Like after you guys had opened it up for him, he doesn't. Okay. You know.
I'm gonna open it. Can I do that?
Yeah, you open it.
All right, cool.
You see the same chart inside as before. Again, it looks like an explosion has gone off within this tomb, but it seems completely empty, devoid. Maybe a few fragments of bone here and there, but that's about it.
Well, I guess he's not home.
I guess he's not here.
He introduced us to this place and told us we were what they call the fate given. I'm not even too sure what that means, but we are tied together in some greater, really grand destiny that we have just learned about.
Yeah, we're still kind of wrapping our heads around it. Yeah, and I'm gonna summon my mace, and it gave me the power to do this, and I pointed the forge over there. You might be able to see it from where you're at. But it allowed me to summon this and, do different things within the forge. So there's many different, powers and abilities that you can accept here or look around. Yeah, it's quite something we've all stumbled ourselves into.
And what if I don't want to join this fate nonsense?
Well, I guess yesterday, these men showed up at my house and almost attacked my family. Thankfully, one of them, the guy in the box here, or the lady in the, anyways, the person in the box, he helped and saved my family and summoned all these wonderful people over here to help save them. I'm sure if you go back, they'll probably attack you. Did you meet anybody different or crazy or, just strange in your area, like that shouldn't be there?
Yes, I did.
That might be a fate given. Did you feel some kind of connection or almost a familiarity with them?
No, not that I remember.
Believe me, I asked the same question of why we were given this position, and the simple answer was you don't have a choice, but there are great benefits to it. And also, there's also a lot of threats that now are put upon you because of what you are. We are. Oh wait, do I notice out of character or in character? I
Yeah,
don't know
that
if we
stuff
know.
that stuff
we're
would have been
hunted. Are we
explained to you. I mean, you were at the chantry now for several hours.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we were. Oh yeah. Okay, so we are. We have an enemy that hunts us. I'm not too sure why, but you, any family you may have, are probably already in danger because we are. There is at least one person that can sense you wherever you are, so you're never really safe. So it's probably best to stick with the others, other fate given.
So I have no choice then, or my family gets the risk.
Indeed.
On my understanding, yeah, I didn't want to, leave my shop back home, but I'm doing it for the sake of them and hopefully the greater good.
But also, if you die, apparently you return here now, which is
Yeah,
some
they
might call it a prison.
That's
but
not something I planned to find out.
they told us we've been removed from the normal life and death cycle. When we die, our spirit essence or we stay together, but we come back maybe as a different person or in the same person in a whole new body, and we remember. So yeah, welcome to your new job, buddy.
You get like the most wide-eyed stare, like, what?
it is quite the shock. I understand, but
That goes right over my head. I just smile.
you can insight that. There's a lot to learn, definitely, but understand that you are not in a position to. Well, I suppose you always have a choice in life. It's just you're put in a very difficult position that you can't really escape, even in death. So, I suppose I was forced to accept it, and I'm still in that accepting process, to be honest.
Yeah, this was just tossed on us yesterday for us. Maybe even today. Yeah. It was today. It was today for us as well.
Brand just shrugs at all of this and is still moderately confused.
Well, why don't you start looking around and maybe look at the tombstones and maybe something will pull you and you'll have a greater understanding after you take a look around. We'll leave you be, and I'm gonna walk over to Brand. So you're from that city? I'm gonna just start a conversation with him while you do your thing.
What does this immediate gravestone next to me say?
The immediate gravestone to your left is that of a great cosmic force. You see depicted on the stone to your left that of a great swirling mass of matter, a star at its center, a great polaric burst of energy firing. Probably a scene that you're not familiar with, a grand quasar, and the word quasar to your left is currently releasing itself into space, a pure destructive wave emitting from its north and south poles.
always liked the forest. What about this one to my right?
Okay. Descending down into the sort of green room, you see this grand tree at the center. The tree sort of, it wasn't moving from like a perspective outside of this green almost pillar, this monolith attached to the center thing, with these meager bridges attaching the two. You notice these tombstones all around it. This tree begins to move and sort of twist as you approach it. The stone immediately to the right, the northeast of that tree, reads. Let me find out. Yes. You see nothing on that stone for a moment, but as you blink, a figure approaches, almost oddly familiar. You see a woman with a bow and a knife in her other hand appear within the face of the stone. She sort of winks at you and then disappears. And you see the word dart etched into the stone at the bottom.
This doesn't really make sense. What am I supposed to make of that? And to the northeast.
Voivod, if you want to interact with the pyramid, that's totally fine. It is it's an ever-spinning thing. You can try to play around with it. As you do so, it sort of accepts your touch, and you begin to interact with it more and begin working on different facets of it. But it does not seem to progress any more. It seems to be currently at its state. Where are you heading, Swan?
I'm looking at this one now.
This one, the top stone. Okay. The very top stone resembles that of a woman. She is looking like very happy to be where she is. She looks in mixed company with all different sorts of individuals. They all seem to be having this sort of party together. She is currently being hoisted by 4 different elementals, each of them sort of hitting her body with their different elemental arrays. You see the fire flushing over her body. She seems to be getting pushed upward by the earth elemental. The air elemental is hitting her with its winds, and the water elemental is sort of nestling her. But she seems completely unharmed by any of these things. She seems almost joyful to be in their presence. And you see the word glamour pressed into the stone at the very bottom. The next stone is that of another cosmic force. You see a picture pressed into the stone. This rock seems to be almost not charred, but as if it's been pulverized over several days, several months, several years. It has a wear to it, where the other stones seem almost untouched. You see the depiction of a great planet, and above it, this almost solar arc, this eminence, this almost grand radiation coming off of a moon to its top. You see upon the earth that the side facing the stone has been sickened, it has been destroyed, and the side facing away from it is unharmed. Life is continuing to live where the moon does not face. And you see the word ray pressed into the stone.
I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to see all these at the bottom.
That's
sorry.
fine. No, people literally went through all of them, so if you want to just take a look
Yep.
at all these, it's totally fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
That stone. Let me see. Ah, okay. You see an individual in the middle of what seems like some sort of like set of katas from either martial arts or some sort of like exercise. You watch as they are like portrayed in these different poses, almost impossible to think about doing manually. You see them, one hand simply pressed into the ground, their entire body extended out just from that one single balancing point. You see the individual hovering just a few feet off the ground with a single finger holding them up from between their legs, their arm elongated through almost a crisscross pose, and a few other different poses such as this. They seem to have almost total control over their body. And you see the word balance pressed into the stone. The next stone is a visage of death, quite literally. A reaper, skull-faced, standing with a great scythe over a massive field. You almost get a chill as you look not upon the reaper himself, that fills you with no fear at all, but towards the field. You almost get this like sickening sense of either loss or a sense of what is to come of the field. And you see the word harvest pressed into the stone. Let me see. That next stone is that of... Ah, yes. You see an individual nestled within trees. You see but their face. Their whole body has been sort of pressed, kept safe. You see their form is, in fact, this stone, almost carved out in a 3D appearance. They make up the entirety of the stone. This tree trunk that they are pressed into has them nestled, is keeping them sort of safe. And you see the word bone cowl pressed into the stone at its base. It looks to be keeping them safe from harm. The next stone, first of all, reads Eidolon at the bottom. But you see 5 creatures beneath the grand tree, the exact same tree behind you, all seemingly at peace with one another. You see this sort of minor devil sort of wrapped around and petting a wolf that is next to this chimera, and an angel is conversing with a satyr fellow, and they are kind of at peace underneath this tree. The next stone, and the last stone for this room, other than the tree itself, of course, shows that of a great beast, this sort of amorphous, just giant predator creature that you have maybe seen once or twice within the grove. It sort of has a nondescript sense of predation and kind of intensity. It seems like a master of its own world. It stands on a cliff overlooking a great forest and jungle, and you see the word evolve pressed into that stone.
Yep, I touched that one.
Okay. You gain the evolve boon. So I will copy and paste that into your thing, into your character sheet.
I was hoping one of them would have something to do with that.
Yeah.
Does anything like visually happen, like from the room, like when it happens?
It
like
comes
does it like
alive.
a light?
Yes, I will get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
Other fate given. Oh, Oh, never mind. It's one of the permanent. Okay. All right. It's a permanent evolution. I forgot about that. So choose from one of those 3 things that I put in your character sheet.
Okay, I will wait for it to update.
It's called Evolve 1.
Huh.
Am I able to speed up the process of this thing, the pyramid?
Of its like complication.
Yeah.
Of its. I mean, you can begin to. Do you want to like try to futz with it, or what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to like both understand it, increase the speed, and slow down the speed, and even stop it. Just try to like different things that's possible with
Sure.
such a thing.
Make me an intelligence check.
Okay. Straight intelligence?
Yep. You have the domain boon, right?
I do.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay, I'm going to choose the first one.
All right. So go ahead and just, pardon me, add that to your unarmed strike.
Yep.
And I will mark that as what you have gained as your first evolution within that stone. Basically, above board, every 5 levels you get one of these abilities, and you can choose the same one multiple times, or you can take different ones. And at some points, even taking different combinations will cause them to kind of morph into the same or change one another. As you've just chosen Evolve, you are tied now to Chaos and the elemental nature of Earth.
Neat.
Yeah.
Chaos?
Yes.
Say chaos?
Chaos. Someone say chaos.
While I'm here, I'm gonna go throw my shield into the forge fire.
Okay.
So is that's yeah, that's how you do
Yeah,
it,
you
right?
can do that if you want to. Yeah. All right. And as you guys are kind of going off and doing your thing, with a 19 intelligence, you find out a couple things about this pyramid. First of all, the capstone comes off of it. You can just take it off. And what you would do with that is up to you. But you can either begin to slow down the intensity or increase the rate of this pyramid, kind of playing with it. It takes but a touch of your finger at each of the points where these little glyphs that are running across its sides, scanning up and down, almost like how we would understand code on a computer to look as it's processing something. Each time you press it, based on how you interrupt and interact with it. Even at the point of touch, you seem to be giving it either more inputs or less. You are manipulating it in different ways.
When I took off the cap, did anything change with the rest of
It
it?
shut down completely, yes.
Oh. Can I sense anything from it since it shut down?
Make another, I guess, make a wisdom check. That's what I would do.
Oh, let's go.
That's a really high wisdom check. All right, cool. You have a sense that it wants to be replaced. It wants to be put back to where it was.
The cap?
The cap, yes, seems to be.
Oh.
It almost has a yearning to go back to where it was.
Huh. Okay. I guess I put it back.
Okay, you put it back and you get that sense goes away.
Oh no. Okay. Can I sense? Okay, if I take it off, can I sense anything else from it or the cap?
That's what you get. It's a very basic. This is all metaphoric. This is all a dream anyway. So I mean, that's as far as it goes.
Damn.
But there is a thing that you can do to the cap. That is what taking it away has done something, right?
Right.
All right. And as you choose the evolve boon, you almost feel like a natural sense of life take over this entire place. The stones come alive. You watch as each of them begins to animate in some way. You sense almost the presence of those beasts shown within the eidolon stone take their place beneath the tree. and you sense this tree begins to sort of extend itself out. You feel attuned. You feel comfortable here. You feel at home. It welcomes you. And as you do so, you hear a screaming noise from the center. Very annoying. Ah, my God! And he comes. A skeleton figure is pulled from the ground of the stone. He kind of like an inky blackness. He kind of gets out of it. He wipes himself off, and he's like, "Guys, I don't even know. Employee meetings are the worst thing ever. All right, awful. How's everybody doing?"
Where were you?
I was meeting the big man. He had some things to say to me. We had some business up with the big lady herself, Nemesis. We were doing a little bit of a face-off, and we didn't win, but we didn't lose either. We're kind of just wrapping things up for the day. God, that was stupid. Ugh. You know, you work so hard, and then it just doesn't go to anything, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again. You don't even get to have the fun. On the prime material plane, you get stuck here instead. Oh my God. It's so awful. I hate this. How was your guys' day?
You just had a casual chat with Nemesis?
No, I mean, we were fighting.
Why?
We were having a tussle. You know, it wasn't just like how you doing, you know.
Do I look rough, like, from earlier?
Yeah,
or
you
do
look
I, like...
you look bad. You look really bad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I would just, like, smile, it's like a little blood in my mouth, and be like, it was a quite interesting day.
Well,
myself.
You're home safe, I take it. Everybody's doing all right? Everybody's okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mm-hmm. We met the outside you.
My better half, sure. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I spoke to her not too long ago. I filled her in on you know, how to treat you guys nice and things like that. Yeah, she liked you guys. She thought highly of you. She's looking into you know, keeping you guys safe and things like that going down the road.
She definitely saved our lives.
Well,
that's good.
Just to say or mention, we do have a new goer. I don't know what happened to the shark, but the
yes, I felt his passing, unfortunately. And he will lift up his hand and sort of give you an illusion of a grand temple, just on this island, a chaotic mess of ichor, blood spilled within a courtyard, bodies strewn about, and a shark hunched at its very center, seemingly going out in a whirlwind of violence, doing what he can to protect everything. So,
oh my God.
Looks like he did his job, though. He at the end he didn't die to a sundered, and he gave those assholes some hell. That was good. He did a good job. But
was he attacked by Sundered?
Well, no, they didn't quite get to manifest even. From what I can tell, they didn't even get the chance. They were just, it was just blood. You know, they went for him hard. You there, newcomer? It seems like you might have inherited an early gift from Mr. Sharkman himself. Why don't you come on over? We'll say hi. How's your day been?
She's not approaching fully. She's gonna stand right here.
Oh.
Does she look anything like any different?
You notice, I suppose that sort of how does this new evolution manifest? That I'll keep that up to you.
Keep that up to me. If it's natural weapons, can I just say teeth?
You can say teeth or.
Well, I want to have actual like poisonous things in my form now, not just the snake.
Yeah.
So what does your character look like, actually?
Yeah, go ahead and give us a description of what she looks like. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is not the current art because I'm getting art done. I'm not sure if you've seen the sketch, but there is a sketch that exists in the Tuesday group. If you scroll up a bit.
It looked good. Yeah.
She is very short. She's like 5'1".
Okay. I'm shorter.
Well, you're a dwarf. Doesn't count. She's short for regular medium size.
Wait, what race are you? Can we tell?
No, you wouldn't be able to tell because I'm pretty sure I'm a rare race.
Okay.
Her skin is made of scales, so she's scaled. She has amber eyes that are slitted like a snake's, and she has black hair that fades into green. She's wearing seems to be a black and red type dress.
What does she carry or hold or wear besides her dress?
She has you can see 2 daggers attached to her thighs, and on top of that, what isn't in the image there, she'd have like a little like slung over bag.
Okay. Do you want us to give a description of what we all look like,
Why don't you
or
guys
do
go
you
ahead?
know?
Why don't you guys go ahead?
Would be nice.
Okay. Does anybody want to start? I'll start it.
Why doesn't Jimbo go, then Bran, then Voivod? We'll go in that order. Yeah.
So when you look at Jimbo, he's a hulking man, about 6'1", 6'2", looks like a pro wrestler almost.
Or exactly like a pro.
He's based off of a pro wrestler until I get the art done.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you're
yeah,
6'2"? I thought you'd be even taller. I thought you're like close to 7.
no, I'm like the max a human can be, which is like I think the rule book said 5 to 6 foot, so I was like 6'1", 6'2". Yeah, he's got like looks like he's got an apron on, like a smithing apron. He's got some smithing goggles on the top of his head, as well as like a little fisherman's hat. He's clad in armor. It's kind of like a blue tinted type armor. It's a custom metal in this world called swamp steel or swamp iron.
Swamp steel.
It's swamp steel. But it's got like a oily blue texture to it. But it's just like a bunch of his armor. It looks like a bunch of different gizmos, kind of like that were just like different knickknacks put together and like forwarded real tight together to make a chainmail. As well as that would be pretty much Jimbo. Big jolly smile, blue eyes. Looks like he's almost always sweating because of like his heavy armor. He's just big bulky man. Big rosy cheeks, happy guy. He's always looking happy. But he's kind of keeps to himself. He likes smithing and he likes blacksmithing. You kind of get that sense by looking at him. And that would be pretty much Jimbo. Little southern boy.
Bran, if your internet's good, you can go ahead and describe your character.
Yeah, thanks. I missed it. Brand's about the same height. Oh, he's on the lanky and lithe side. Dark hair kind of pulled back into a man bun. He's a half elf. And kind of think when we ended last session was able to kind of arrange for like Reese to bring him his own stuff, so he's no longer in his prison garb. He's got a shirt that he's going to try to smooth anybody possible and be that fake oil salt and smooth guy, but a little bit of used car salesman thrown in there, so shirt that's open probably just a little bit too low. He's slipped on the leather armor that Jimbo gifted him with, but hasn't bothered to fasten the front all the way to that well, and seems to just be absent-mindedly while all this is going on, just testing the weight and lightly playing with a short sword.
And did you see what that short sword does? I put it in your bio, I think, on your character sheet.
I did indeed. Very interesting.
All right.
And then I gotta figure out how to wake her up. But yeah, the plus even casted and damage rolls. And then the pivot.
Yep, a little pivot ability. Yep.
It's a nice.
All right. You see a dwarven woman, in this sort of almost like an islander garb. Different like fabrics, kind of laid over one another to make this sort of very pretty dress. She has very fiery features, and sort of a very brazen personality. I'm not gonna even attempt to try to play that character, but she kind of acknowledges you. And then Voivod, if you want to go ahead and describe Mr. Horologium Deus.
The H is silent.
Horologium.
Yes. All right. So you see a dwarf. He's got simple robes on, like he's like a tradesman kind of looking clothing. You can see like a chain. Looks like might be like a pocket watch. He's got like a beard. It's like brownish colored. His eyes are bronze colored. His skin is like a lighter bronze color. His hair is like I put silvery brown. And let's see, he looks like he's in his early adulthood, like, so he's fairly young looking. I think that's I guess if you look closer into his eyes you might see something special, but other than that he's pretty plain looking.
So
I think that's it.
All these figures sit before you, Swan. And Mr. Soul pipes up. So, like they probably mentioned, hopefully, you got chosen for a job, kid, and I'm sorry to say it's not a very fun one. It comes with its perks, it also comes with its dangers, and you probably ran into a few folks that aren't too happy. I've heard some pretty bad horror stories. Maybe, for at least the safety of yourself, tag along for a while. They'll keep you safe. You can always return home whenever you need to. But for now, definitely, before we can try to find out who is hunting down all the people who were chosen, maybe stick around. And I'll get into why you're chosen if you need me to explain it. Have you guys met the big blue guy downstairs yet? Anybody?
Blue guy?
Yeah, the heart.
Well, I just wanted to take a nap as soon as I got back to the Citadel.
You can call it whatever you like. Chantry, Citadel. It's those fancy words from fancy people. I don't give a shit. I call it church sometimes. That's fine. Yeah, that's I understand.
If you're talking about the planet Eleanor, when we were at the Chantry, I was able to feel. Out of character, do we refer to Eleanor as is it common knowledge that we know Eleanor is?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a gender usually to identify?
Eleanor usually goes by he.
He. Okay, gotcha. All right. When we were at the Chantry, I was able to feel his presence very strongly, but I mean, I didn't get to meet him or anything. You can meet him? I didn't know you could meet him.
Yeah. We'll give you some additional factors of protection, basically. Probably tomorrow. Mr. Rode will probably get to talk to you and make sure everything's squared away. He'll probably send you off somewhere to stay for a while and maybe adventure around and do things like that, get strong. But you can always just stay around the Chantry, I'm sure. At least that's what what's her name told me. Mrs. Soul. When things were going down, she told me what the new laws and things like that were for ruling classes when the new guys took over. Let me think.
I like how easily you blow over talking to the planet.
Oh!
Like it's nothing.
Well, I mean, I used to meet with him too. He's kind of busy too nowadays, but
It's, like Jimbo's just like the most he's ever done is experience like the swamps, a little bit of city life, and then he meets the world.
sure.
Also, can we discuss our shark friend? So, where was that?
That was, I think, off the coast of Nermora, in between that and the Duneland somewhere.
I
Little
think we
island.
were. Oh, okay. No, we were in Normora, but not in that area. I don't think.
No, we was it near?
Nah, I was like, I think Jimbo here's from like northwest in Nermora, right?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I'm in kind of somewhat of the center.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's sad that happened, but it looks like you got a new comrade out of it. It looks like his soul was able to pass on to a new individual. So, I mean, rest in peace, but also, you know,
That could have been us. That could have
you
been
guys. Yes.
our family. Was he with his family when that happened?
No, I think he was with a couple of monks who also beat the shit out of those guys too. A couple priests, things like that. He had quite an army behind him. It looks like he got some help, but looks like it wasn't enough to at least protect him. They've been dealt with though. They don't seem to be there anymore. There have been some very strong blows going on both sides today, boys. We lost, I think, 5 total now. Fate given within just the last day.
I'm gonna look over and how is Suan taking all of this? I'm just like looking. I'm not like I'm just kind of peering
She's
over.
just like she's disassociating. This is just a lot of stuff happening at once.
I'm gonna talk about what's it called? Oh, I was gonna say, so you said if we die, we return here. So shouldn't he be here with us?
Well, it happens to be if you are of a certain strength, you get reborn right away. But poor Sharky didn't make it too long, so he got used for scraps more or less, used to power somebody else rather than keep his own light aflamed, you know.
At least he's free from this curse.
Yeah, and he, you know, his soul did go somewhere nice. You know, it's not like he just like you get turned into goo and sent off. No, he's like in a heaven somewhere, probably you know, Arborea, something like that, fighting forever. You know, sailing the sea, something like that.
It sounds like he went out fighting, but
Yeah.
what makes us different? How won't the same thing happen to us when we die?
Potentially, it's all sort of down to your will, your personal will to keep going and things like that. If your soul wants to continue on, then it will. If not, if you're tired, if you give out, then you sort of get retired and your power goes to someone else.
He must have felt at peace when he passed, I presume.
Probably finished his business to a degree, or was happy enough to pass along the torch. So,
my character's gonna just mutter a prayer in Dwarven to Primina by himself.
sure.
Oh, he's still holding the cap because when he heard Mr. Soul screaming, he just ran with the cap in his hands.
Ooh, try putting it back on upside down.
All right. Yeah.
See what
Speaking of,
happens.
so while holding the cap, I'm gonna say, so I noticed this came off. What can you tell me about this?
Oh, I mean, I'm not supposed to give any hints, but you know, you took it off, and there's technically, you know, 10 abilities in each of these things.
There's a 10th?
Yeah. There's a hidden one though. I'm not supposed to tell you that, but there is.
Oh. Give me a hint, at least.
I mean, you took the capstone off, and that's supposed to represent kind of the ruler, right, of the pyramid. That's the capstone. That's the most like you know, that's usually made of all gold and things like that. At least back where I'm from, back in the day, sort of represents power. And if you were to dismiss that power, what would you do with the stone?
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
He's gonna put the cap on his head.
Nothing happens. You look very silly though.
Damn it.
Sorry. Now, Swan, I'm sorry. I'm sure you probably just lived through something a little traumatic. But some folks will be around if they're not already to take care of you and help you on your way and make sure that you don't get hurt so much. Are you an adventurous type by chance?
Partially.
Partially. All right. Well, I think that kind of fits the bill with these folks a little bit.
You'd say that.
Yeah, homebodies, but also kind of want to get out and experience a few things. I'm sure there will be a time where you can return home. And that time may be sooner than you expect. But for now, I recommend that if any of the Fate Given come around, you go with them, just to keep those who you know safe, at least. For the time being, it seems like they only want the Fate Given, not the people associated with them. But we got to make sure that those who are special to us stay protected, you know. Lord knows I have families, even from my past lives on Eleanor, who I don't want to get hurt. So, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got chosen. You'll get filled in more. As for the reason for your choosing, that I can fill you in on. I can enlighten you on that at the very least. A long time ago, there was a great war between gods. And it ended with Asgarath basically losing his primary form. Asgarath being a big, scary dragon god who made our multiverse. And after he died...
Jimbo's gonna pull some popcorn out, but you don't know from where.
Everybody's got that popcorn pocket. He kind of scrapes his chin with his bony fingers at that. Let's see. Jimbo's distracting me. Oh, that's right. Asgarath died. He got sad. He tried to find his old power through his old memories and remembered, unfortunately, the first god he ever tussled with, his cooperator, his antithesis, and that's Nemesis, the goddess of oblivion. She basically manifested in the dreams of him and every living being, and that started to consume all different sorts of things and bring about a death to his past creation. So he had to restart again. He made a whole new multiverse. That's where we live, and it's our job to try to get the old stuff back, because he's very sad, understandably so. That's where I'm from. That's where you guys are from. You are simply reincarnations of past lives now on this world to go and fight the good fight, or at the very least keep the world ticking, and you can just do whatever you want. It's just kind of your job to make sure that things go the way they should, so that we can get back on track eventually, at the very least. Any questions?
Many.
I'm sure.
That's a problem for future me. Let's just... So for now, you said to stick with any others that I meet?
Yeah, for now. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you. They know where we are. At least some of us, at least the newly chosen ones. We just want to make sure that they don't end up finding the ones that are born, pretty soon here, or are coming into the world. There's entire generations of Fate Given born, once in a while. We want to make sure that we at least get to do what we're supposed to do and not die off before we can even get the chance. So, for now, stay safe so that you can live the life you want to later, and maybe bring upon a great, great adventure in your own time, and do the things you want to do, and do what you enjoy. Ultimately, that's my best advice: is do what you enjoy, but stick with those who are like you. And I don't mean even snake people like yourself. I've never seen a being like you. I have to say, it's quite stunning. but I mean folks like Jimbo here, Bran, Mr. Deus, and the rest. Make sure you're safe. Is that agreeable? Or, I mean, I guess the choice is yours.
I feel like keeping myself safe is a priority, but
You'd be keeping yourself safe, and you'd be keeping your village safe.
which I didn't talk about, so I'm confused how you know, but that's probably something different.
Well, everybody has a homeland, is what I'm saying. It sounds like Jimbo here got attacked. It sounds like people showed up at Deus's door. I don't know about you, Bran. What happened to you, Ben? What's going on with you?
Well, someone came up and hit me in the back of the fucking head.
See, Bran's getting hit in the back of the head. This is awful. I hate this. So again, stick together. Buddy system, right? This time it's just a buddy system of 5. You guys will meet again pretty soon, I'm sure. Probably within the day, and you'll progress them from there. And I hope you the very best in what is soon to come. If you want, I can send you on your way now, or you can ask your questions or do whatever you like. The option is always yours. You're sleeping. You're having a nice night right now. It's you're currently safe. Let's just say Aelenor's keeping watch for now.
Wait, someone showed up at my door? Because I saw Jimbo through this portal, and that's the last I saw.
Well, somebody was coming for you, right? That's what Miss Warden said, or something like that.
Yeah, he told me through the portal that our families may be at risk as well.
Yeah.
And so I went to assist him through the portal.
Maybe see if there's reports from the Citadel of attacks where you guys are from. That's what I would do.
I'll have to find out somehow.
There's plenty of information gathering sources within the Chantry and the capital city for sure, so do what you like. Any other questions, or should I send you on your way? I can't hear you, Bran.
But I think I'd be ready to wake up in my own bed now.
All right. Sounds like a
God,
plan.
you're so much clearer now.
Yeah, that's much
You're
better.
cutting out so much before. I could barely understand you.
All right. Well, then get out of here. Goodbye. And he snaps his finger, and the portal opens. A sort of almost toilet-like flushing as you guys are brought back to your bodies.
Guess I dropped the cap.
The capstone clatters to the ground. And you are returned to your place, Swan, within the grove. We'll delete these, but we'll keep the map going for now. Alright. You awaken the next day, and Sam is there, sort of beneath you, kind of packing up, keeping a look around. What do you do?
Now that I've been mentioned about it, is there some strange connection now between me and them?
Almost like a ringing. She seems like a relative that you haven't seen in a while. She also, like, you swear that you can, like, feel and taste and sense around the position where she's in. Almost like your, like, sensory inputs are overlapping with one another in the space. It's almost like you smell the same thing, the same air, obviously in the same space, but to a degree that is almost uncanny, like you are almost one and the same person. Yet that begins to wane after not too long, as you grow more grow more used to the feeling, and it dies down, and then finally, she kind of notices, looks up at you, smiles. I thought there was something familiar. Well, that's good. At least I got the right one.
Sort of clicks her tongue. I was hoping that was a dream.
I was too at first. Though I suppose I was selected in much nicer times. Do you want to run back to your village and see how things are before we head off, or... I'm sure things were explained to you at least a little bit.
They were. Are they in good hands, at least?
Your people will be just fine from this thing, I think. At the very least, we can ensure that some keepers are sent to make sure of such things. We have quite a wide array of individuals, especially on this continent. We can make sure that you're kept safe.
Alright, well, I suppose I was told to follow you for now. Guess I'll have to do that.
Give me a minute and we can check on home, and then we can head to, well, to what I consider to be my actual home, I suppose, after all these years. Alright. Same as before, and she whips out the same orb that she had previously. But now, instead of focusing for just a few seconds, she begins a longer incantation. It takes a green, very, very deep green form. It sort of shimmers as it covers you both, and you are teleported into your village. You see people kind of more or less right off the bat. We can change music now. Let me see. That's very loud. Just like some forest stuff or something. As you're in this place, you see individuals taking sort of stock of what they've lost, picking up the scraps. You see one of those blights crushed beneath a great tree, as a treant is actually walking down the street of this sort of village place. What if you were to describe this little village? How would you do so? And also, if you would name it, you can now.
Describing it, it's more or less like buildings are made entirely of wood and stone, not much else to that, but it's a majority wood.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of buildings, in fact, are just hollowed out trees that are, like, expanded, if not just straight up tree houses as well. Mostly, like, it's a forest place.
Yeah.
Name, I don't have a name for you right now.
That's totally
Kind of like the Kokiri village from Legend of Zelda.
Kind of like that, yes,
Okay.
but more naturey than what that was, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sort of people take stock and they recognize that you're safe, and they see that new traveler that's with you. Somebody approaches you. Who is it? As they sort of come to check on you.
I'm assuming someone I know.
Yeah.
Let's go with making up background on the spot. Let's go with it's my dad.
It's your dad. Okay. Your father. Does he have the same sort of like aesthetic vibe as you, or did he take a different form of a different creature? How does that work?
Let's go with my dad is the same as me.
Father is also a snake. Okay. And he approaches you and kind of comes in for. Is he? Are you a tight knit pair, you two, or
this
are
is
you,
fine. I will in fact hug him back if he comes for a hug.
Yeah, he comes for a hug.
I'm glad you're safe. I was very, very nervous when I lost sight of you. That great creature came running right for you. What happened?
Well, I was running as best as I could, and luckily, this one here saved me. Sam.
Sam, you are from not around here. I sense you've traveled a great distance. Thank you. Thank you for keeping my daughter safe. Did you happen to slay the creature that was trampling through here?
No, we escaped it, but I don't know where it went.
Hmm. Well, we are fortunate to have you back. Samantha, what takes you to our tribe? What is your purpose here?
And she sort of speaks up. I'm actually here to, well, to put this simply, your daughter has been chosen. She's a very special individual. She has power that has sort of been handed down to her by a greater divine means. She has been considered by specifically, I believe, Lorelei, the goddess of nature, to be of her particular interest, and will represent sort of your people in the grove this choosing. I'm sorry, but I'll be taking her away if that's all right. To keep her safe and to ensure that things like this do not happen again. And your father seems very defensive about that, obviously, saying that he's this strange creature, first of all, that he may not have run into very often at all within the grove, is now coming to take you away. And he sort of grows stern and says,
I will not allow such a thing. I do not know you. What do you mean? What does the goddess of nature have to do with any of this? You invoke these things so casually. I don't understand.
And she's like, I'll take some time to explain it to you. And I'll of course allow you to say your goodbyes. You can take as much time as you need, but time is of the essence if we want to ensure that attacks like this do not continue. She's currently marked. Beasts like that, or worse, will continue to appear. Are we not careful? I have not seen an individual of the organization that seeks to wipe us out, such like the creature that we had seen before. I'm very scared, I must say.
Well, you have gall to come into our homeland and say you wish to take my daughter. Swan, what do you have to say about this?
I think it's probably a good idea. I know I've told you I've wanted to try an adventure anyways. This is just the start of that.
Oh, I'm still on the wrong screen. Hold on. I've done this again. My bad. All right. Gotta close that out. He sort of nods.
Well, can you guarantee for me that she can come home?
And she sort of... It's hard to guarantee, but I can be sure that an avenue will be opened, should she need to. Do you have anything of value, perhaps, that you could give to her to ensure such an anchoring can be made that she can return when she needs to? He sort of considers this for a moment.
I think so.
He enters his room, and he comes back with a trinket. If you'd like to describe what this is, either it's of cultural value or value to your family, he is passing it to you at this time.
Can it be anything?
Literally anything. Literally anything.
Okay, I want it to be a dagger in the shape of a snake fang.
Sick.
Doesn't have to be mechanical, but yes.
Yes. It even can be. We'll talk about that at the end of session, probably. He hands you that little snake dagger. With that, I've been told that we have such ways to allow her to venture home if she needs to. At great material cost, but we can make it possible. And we would always, of course, our Far Seekers Guild and Fate Given be very intrigued to meet with you further and discuss all sorts of things. We did not know that there were people such as you this deep within the Grove. We'd heard stories of all sorts of different folk, but
All right. Maybe later.
is there anything else you want to do before you potentially head off? Any last things that you want to do within the Grove or within your village before you leave?
She would do like a quick cursory check to make sure like everyone's okay, not there's
Sure.
no casualties, and if there are, then she would probably help in any way and send off like a small prayer just in case.
Yeah. You see that there were a few casualties. Mostly animals, even some trees. There was a singular member of your tribe who had lost their life. Elderly. They were crushed beneath a tree as it fell due to the blight. Everything else seems to be damage to structure. You see this strange fungus growing from all different sorts of places. You see your people are very talented in all sorts of things associated with the culture of the Grove, and you see them taking care of what needs to be done. You say your prayer. Do you say a prayer to a particular god or an entity, or are you just simply praying that their soul passes?
It is just a general prayer.
It's just a general
that
prayer.
Their soul is at peace.
Sure. If you want to sense if that has come true, you can make a check. The creatures are very attuned to magic, of this world at least, are very attuned to magic and of divinity. You can innately sense things like this if you wish to. Otherwise,
What
if you
kind of check would that be?
That would be a religion check.
Well, that's a straight D20.
8? You're unsure.
Well, she sends it off nonetheless.
She sends it off nonetheless. And you are sort of thanked for your, for your care and consideration, things like that. Lots of individuals make sure that you're all right as you kind of check in. Your friends are fine. Family members, for the most part, are untouched. You see the half of a blight, like broken and ripped in half, just at the front door of your house. Its legs separated off somewhere, just its torso remaining, a sort of clutching claw facing towards your door. Outstretched fingers reaching. And Sam kind of comes up behind you. Is there anything you say? Anything you do?
No, she'll give it like one last like fond glance farewell before wanting to like step out, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you take a view and take notice of all these things as you say goodbye, at least temporarily, to this home. Samantha kind of at a moment of rest, and as you sort of make your peace, she hands out that fist-sized orb, the second of her stones, and sort of holds it to you. Whenever you're ready, we can head home.
Your home, anyways.
Yes.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. and the incantation takes a while. But you watch it shimmer a deep, vibrant blue, flickers of gold, as you are accelerated, teleported, brought through a small gate that opens at your feet, several thousand miles if we take our world map into count, traveling you from the northwestern section, just north of Sultry, to Helhazar, 5,400 miles, to the grand capital of Helhazar. You awaken sort of in the space within a grand chantry, a center room. What's the rest of our guys? What's our group doing? What are our boys doing?
Okay. Jimbo would have woken up extremely early, and would have ran to the forge to like test out this new hammer.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna grab the two blades, the short swords, and I'm gonna just how does the actual like hammer work? Is it like one hit and then that's how it happens, or is it like I'm gonna
It's
like
sort of
thematically? I imagine like I'm just kind of like smacking away at it, and then like that is my enchantment as like I'm finishing, right?
you notice that there's almost different ways that you smack with this hammer. If you smack with like intention and thought of it activating its trait, it then uses that work. But if you are just simply hammering metal into metal, then it seems to have the effect
Okay.
of just being a hammer.
Cool. I am going to then where's I've lost Jimbo's page.
Oh, we don't need this music anymore. This doesn't make sense. We're in a big city.
So last session we ended going to our apartment and like sleeping, right?
Yes.
Is this a continuation?
You guys are. It's now the morning for you guys. That's why you just had that dream.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So yeah, with the first one, the first short sword with the six-eyed blade, I'm gonna intentionally do it just once, just to see what happens.
Sure.
And so it's a D8.
Roll me a D8. Roll me a D8 and then make me an Arcana check.
Okay. So that is.
Actually, no, not Arcana for this tool. We'll make it smithing. We'll make it a smithing's tool check. Just to make it more specific to you. Yeah. The 23. Wow. Okay, and that was. I have to even check to see which element that is. Can you just click the attack for Bart for his thing quick?
Yes, sir.
Oh wait, I got it.
7 is cold.
It's cold. Yes, the blade takes on. At the point you start to smash it, it quickly takes a temporary blue hue. The steel. You think that if you continue hammering for a while, you could make it permanent. The red metal of the hammer itself has formed this sort of glacial front to it, blue and red kind of mixing into a sort of swirling, burning center, where you see the symbol of Raldir, the god of craft, pressed into the center arm of the hammer, rather. But you think you've begun to infuse it with the aspect of cold.
I am going to use that. Yeah.
Okay. How long do you want to work at this for?
Let's see. I'd probably do it for like an hour or two in the morning.
Sure. And at that point, we'll say that you've caught up with Swan's arrival in lore, but currently you have made this chilled blade. This sword now does 1d6 cold damage. You don't know how long this lasts, you don't know how temporary it is, and it may need more work to keep it a permanent effect, but you have made this weapon, at the very least, a blue cold steel, and quite potent of a weapon.
Okay. Very cool. Let's see. Let's put that in the thing. Alright.
What's everybody else doing? Why don't we move to Bran next?
Bran is kind of in shock of being a place of his own. He's been kind of crashing in different areas for the last while, and very thankful for Reese's friendship, but also realizing that probably Birdie Boy will be happy to be, just friends instead of kind of forced roommates on occasion. And so he's been taking his time getting his little apartment area and just so means making sure that there are plenty of hidey holes to keep things from people like him who might come in there. Just kind of getting things set up. He's nesting, but he's about done with that. It's really starting to get the itch to go check on Reese, maybe get these new comrades to do that. And yes, a breakfast pint, it's, a breakfast stout is perfectly fine and acceptable when you're basically on the college freshman diet. So that's what he's doing this early in the morning.
Sure. You actually hear a knock on your door not too long after you finish beginning your little nesting.
He goes over and opens it.
You see Reese. He's now very differently dressed. He seems to have sort of donned not the local apparel of the priests by any means, but a sort of similar garment, a sort of uniform. And he's like, "Hi, how's it going?"
Oh, look at you. What's going on with you? I mean, I've got my vestments, but I've worn to the Raven.
They gave me a job.
You got a job?
Yeah.
You're going legit?
Kinda. I'm gonna be sailing for them. Just doing some boat stuff. I used to, go all around Halhazar and on ships once in a while as sort of a hand. I guess I'm gonna do the same thing, but much smaller vessels. I'm gonna be just keeping track of supplies and things like that.
For the chantry.
Yeah.
Holy shit! It changed both of our lives. Is that for the better? Did I save your life, or did I bring you about to ruin here, turning you into an honest man?
Well, I don't know. They gave me a room in the chantry. I can just live there now. I've got a roommate. He doesn't smell so bad. He kind of like...
Hey, I washed every other day.
Yeah, that's actually a lot better than a lot of people, especially in Halhazar, man. But it looks like we're going to be doing recon work for some of the grand ships, the big aircraft sort of boats that come around, and either are, those airships kind of land on them sometimes, things like that. We're gonna make sure that we find all the little islands and things like that. I'm gonna be doing surveying work for the Farseekers Guild. So.
Well, Bran reaches over and grabs with both hands the front of Reese's vestment uniform, whatever it is. Pulls him as close as that beak will let him get.
Which is quite close, yeah.
And says, "Now you look at me. If I go and find out that you've gone and gotten yourself killed, and it's ultimately my fault, I will never let you hear the end of it. Do you understand?"
I'll stay safe, don't you worry. And I'll still be around, don't get me wrong. Most of the work we're going to be doing is just around Halhazar, because they haven't had much help from the Tritons around just offshore to make sure that things are all right. So I'm going to be all over the place, but if you ever need a hookup, I can get you a ship.
Oh, you better believe that I'll keep that in mind there, Birdie Boy, but especially since apparently I don't know, I mean, Manan always told me I was special, but apparently there's something else that's going down, and I don't know, I've got a whole bunch of yahoos. I mean, they seem nice enough, I guess. I don't know, but
there's a lot of weird people here.
Oh, yeah. That's the truth right there.
Did you see the lion?
It was like bigger than I don't know. It was like a house. It was huge. It was crazy.
Remind me to stay on his good side. I didn't see that, but good lord.
Oh my god, he's massive.
God's I don't know. Something about the fact that I don't know. Sounds like I'm one of them heroes or something, which, I mean, that's funny if you don't ask me.
You're a wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're a hero? Is that what they try to tell you? Oh my god.
I'm officially one of the good guys.
Well, okay. Well, I think we all knew that you were a good guy. We just didn't think you were a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's a shock to me too, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about the fact that we might sort of place that we're being sent to or something. I don't know. There's something about the big blue. I don't. Honestly, half of it is supposedly happened in me. I think I just may have drank too much, smoked too much, or I don't know. Maybe one of them girls I was with, or maybe one of them guys. Maybe they had something. I don't know. Might need to go see a healer myself.
Well, I mean, I think I walked past 50 priests just trying to get to your door, so should be okay. Maybe get checked out though. That's you know, and take another bath while you're at it. That would be good. I can't hear you right now, Brent.
Oh, sorry. I said a long soak would do me a world of good.
I'm sure. Well, I'm gonna head off. My ship actually takes off just this afternoon. I'm gonna go see what I can get up to, and I think we're just, getting a lay of the land. It's a new crew. We'll stay pretty close to shore and take some measurements and things like that. But you'll see me out there on the shores. Do you know what you guys are doing today?
I have no idea.
Awesome. Well.
But you stay safe now, all right, my friend?
Oh, absolutely.
And Brand pulls him in for one of the big manly hugs, the 3 firm pats on the back, and
yep,
that sort of thing.
You get a big fan of wings around you. He gives you a nod and starts to. He actually flies off, kind of a slow flap from your front door. Mr. Orologium Deus.
That's me.
What you doing? What you up to?
All right, so as I wake up in my apartment,
Correct.
I'm going to try to figure out where there may be a temple or shrine, as well as a place where I can, like a crafter's guild, and kind of use my background ability.
Oh, within Halhazar? Okay, so do you want to go to the workshop within the Chantry, or are you going into the actual main city itself?
Whichever's closer. Does my apartment have a window?
Still. What's up?
Okay. I'm in a Chantry, okay.
Yeah, you do have a window. It looks out through the castle wall that sort of you're on a separate island from the main city, which the Chantry sort of is. There's a sort of wall, and your home is both built into the wall and also its own separate thing. Some of the apartments are have windows, some of them don't, and they all have this sort of center courtyard. Each group has its own set of apartments. So if you want to go to the workshop, there are plenty of people there working on different things, but then there's also the city itself, which might have even more opportunities, depending on sort of what you find and what you're able to find. But if you've got 2 hours, certainly the workshop is the very closest spot.
I'm assuming I don't know where things are, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my owl out my window, and then I'm going to use the look through its eyes ability thing.
Sure.
Just to see where I'm going to be walking to.
Okay. I wish I had the map for Halhazar open right now, or just available. It's still not done yet.
That's okay. No worries.
Putting 100,000 people's houses on a map it takes time, apparently.
Yeah, of course. It's a massive city.
So what you do see, I guess I'll just go to the stock art, right? Of the city itself.
Ravnica.
Yes. Though it is more or less the same. You see these temples, these churches all over the place. You see boats coming in, actually entering the city from these canals, flowing underneath bridges and things like that, getting unloaded to an entire second city beneath this primary level. You see all sorts of different shops and furnaces burning. You see lines of white smoke crossing across the sky. Um, Legions of people coming in and out. Your owl catches sight of the crossroads, these magic arcane gates at the center of the city. And then you get a proper layout, first of all, of the Chantry of the Dawn. It seems like it has some sort of center area, which you recognize as the room that you were first in when you arrived here. You can see the sort of circular glass room where you stood in as you first arrived here. You see, let me see. You see a workshop towards the back, sort of open, half of it, so that there's proper ventilation and things like that for the different works that need it. Half of it also closed off. You see a great docks, many different canals and things like that available for ships, but you see but a single boat currently parked within it. You see a few others approaching it, more civilian colors, not the familiar colors of the Fate Given, as you sort of see the different like heralds and things like that are put around here. It's not the same theme. There's only one ship that has that Fate Given appearance. You see different fighting yards and things like that, different training things. You see a library and all sorts of different amenities for different individuals. You see even a small garden set aside.
Dang. All right. I'm gonna look for specifically if I can see it, a symbol of Primina, like indicating some sort of temple of worship,
You
as well
see,
as
yes, you see a temple of Primina within the city. I will have to find out. I have the buildings where they are. I just don't have the map done. If you give me a minute, I can let you know where that is. Dum ba dum ba dum ba dum. Generating art. There we go. Okay. Within, yes, the first, where the loops begin, where these ships are sort of coming in from sea, you see a sort of peninsula. You see this like defense platform parked right in front of it, but then you see a temple to Primina, not too very far away at all, quite close actually.
nice. Is there a guild, like a crafters guild, something that looks like one
You
nearby?
see guilds and things like that all over the place here. You see different shops, but specifically, yes, at Primina, you know that there would be a group of craftsmen and things like that, either at the Church of Raldir, the Temple of Raldir, or here, where innovators and things like that would come and meet and work their craft.
Ooh, okay. I know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna recall my owl.
All right, your owl returns to you.
I'm gonna head out to that temple, the Primina's temple.
Okay. It's quite a long walk. There is no direct bridge there. You exit the threshold of the Hazar Chantry. You cross this sort of golden bridge with these large stones. And you enter the first city block, Bron Omoro, this sort of area of high nobility, great importance economically, and also sort of the closest place kept to the Hazar Chantry for obvious security reasons. You see very dapper dressed individuals kind of pass you on the street of all different origin and walks of life. They sort of kind of give you a curt nod as you walk past. You make your way into Bron Song, the crossroads. Actually no, the most direct route is to go to Bron Kelgas. This neighborhood is that of the tradesmen. You see all different sorts of merchants and things like that meeting with one another. all different walks of life. Again, not of such means though. You see money passing hands very quickly. You see great food stalls and things like that. Different places where people are exchanging food and goods. You see a grand cargo ship just below you at the center loop of the city getting unloaded, full of incredibly expensive silks and different things like that, taken from nearby nations. You eventually get into Bron Rathan. This is one of the more religious parts of the city. Its central neighborhood, separated by two loops. It stands as sort of a isthmus peninsula connected by these different bridges. You find, again, more different craftsmen, housing, things like that of all different sorts of classes. You eventually make your way across a small bridge to this temple of Primina. What do you do as you approach? It is quite round. It is this large, almost cog-shaped thing itself. It seems to have teeth. You notice that it is currently functioning as some sort of battery. You notice that it is like a generator, a massive machine itself.
Ooh. Well, Mike, I'm very intrigued by new technology. I'm gonna have to check it out and see if I can learn anything from it, adopt it, maybe recreate it, improve upon it. There's so many things. I guess I will approach and talk to anyone that looks like they belong here, work here, or like they look like a craftsman, an innovator like myself.
Yes. You come across an individual, blue-skinned, very lanky. You see that they have these crazy goggles on their head, and they are currently they've got a like part of the ground like lifted up, and you see that they are working on something. They've got this sort of torch in their hand. This is even outside of the temple that you see this individual.
All right, I approach and I say, "Hello."
Oh, hello. Hi. Who are you?
I'm new in town. I was looking for the temple here to start off my day. I like to have a little routine of, you know, making a prayer to Primina before doing my day's work.
I am. I actually work for the city of Halazar. This is. I keep track of everything. Um, Welcome to our temple. Let me allow you inside, and I can get you to a place if you wish to worship or see what we have in store. The people who work at this temple are more or less the people who keep the city going. You can call me Asua Cord. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Sorry, I'm taking notes. He is the temple what? Temple guard? No, he's a temple host.
Yeah, he works for the city, which is one of these sort of technical guys. He was currently working on something in the street. Seems to be some sort of inventor himself, or at the very least somebody who is a mechanic of some sort.
Okay. Yeah, if you can show me around the temple, this generator looking thing looks very interesting to me.
We have a few of them set up across the city. Yes. We use them to power our many inventions and things like that. Different homes and things like that of the nobility, at the very least, have a sort of input source where they can gain some sort of arcane power, or at the very least, electrical influence from the city itself.
Are all the generators in the city temples of Primina here?
No, this one is particularly the Primina Temple. It's the largest of the generators. We have others scattered around, but none is great, or necessarily visible from the surface. The Undercity has a few of them scattered here and there.
I'm looking to make something like this, but smaller. Would you be able to show me how this works, perhaps? possibly?
Absolutely. It is of mechanical and arcane nature, and he sort of takes you inside. This grand generator, you see on the inside pistons pumping steam, popping from different intakes. You see a whole array of individuals keeping track of this and making sure that this temple stays in working condition. Seems like this requires a great deal of work to stay afloat, and perhaps could use quite a bit of work to make a more productive means of generation. But you can only imagine how much power is getting created by this. You see a center core, this sort of jutting electricity, this wild, almost like conduit pouring out from this this center thing.
As I walk in, I'm gonna pull out the node I got,
Mm-hmm.
as well as my. Actually, no, that's fine. I'm just gonna pull out my node and just see if it has any reaction. But I'm also just looking around in awe.
You watch as the node, like, do you activate the node or do you just pull it out?
Oh no, I also activate it because it has an eye, right? So
Yeah,
it would look around.
Its singular eye kind of looks around. Its little legs extend out of its body, and it goes down and starts scuttering around the temple. You see it quickly, like, it finds a loose floor plate and just like welds it back together, and it begins doing like simple maintenance on this place.
Oh, that's very handy. I didn't know you could do that.
That at the center is the being that we call the ghost spirit, the city spirit, the great spirit, Hazar. It is the individual who sort of passed his life, the founder of the city. Once our great king, he used himself to begin this great reaction, this great lightning, a sort of sentient magic that persists within this temple.
Azar was his name, was it?
Hazar, yeah.
Hazar. Ah. Can you? I know of the Spiric Ode, right? Is that him? Yeah.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
I saw him in a dream. It was very unusual.
Oh, Spirit Ode you would not have met. He's alive. You met Adis Song.
Oh wait, I'm thinking the wrong guy. Look at my notes.
It's all good.
Right. Let me just move this guy. Copy. Paste. Closer. My bad. There we go. Okay, he's a Vidalkin. Okay, yeah, there you go. Ada's song. When I know his full name? He's very popular, right? He's very well known, rather.
His face and his name are printed on coins and stuff like all over the place. So he once was like the representative of Aelinor. He was the guy.
Yes. See, you dreamed of Ada's song. Well, that is very interesting. Are you from the Chantry by chance?
Yes, I just recently arrived, actually, and so I'm new around here.
Well, I'm pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am but your humble servant at all times. If there's anything you need, let me know. I will make it available to you as best as I can. Always a pleasure to meet a fate given. Is there anything you require? You simply wish to make peace and worship Primina, or is there any more that you wish to see of the temple? Anything at all? Let me know.
So I wish to have a quick prayer with her, but also I would like if there's a workshop I can use to do my tinkering and my brainstorming, that'd be great.
By all means, we have a workshop just down this way. We have several, actually. If you wish to claim this one, I shall make it known of your station, and you can retain this place.
Oh, sure. That'd be very convenient. I'm not sure how long I'll be staying around here, but I appreciate it.
We'll keep in mind that we can keep it for other people, but it can be of your personal use for the time being. If you need assistance, let me know. I'll do the best I can, or find somebody who can help.
All right, that sounds good. Out of character, do I know if temples of Primina take any kind of donation?
They do, yes. And what kind of donation you commit is up to you. People take even like ideas or created objects, tools as donation, but also definitely money.
Okay. Uh, I guess I would go to the place of prayer first. I don't know if they have designated spots for that.
Sure, they do. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd go there first. I'd do my prayer, my usual, please grant me inspiration, focus, and just that spark I need to create what I want to create.
Mm-hmm.
As I do that, as usual, I'm going to pull out my pocket watch as well as grasp my holy symbol of the cog. And after that, I'm going to go to, I guess, the equivalent of the donation box.
Sure. Yeah, and there are several things like that. Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to draw like 10 gold, which is like almost half my money.
Quite a considerable donation, yes.
Yep. And then I'm going to head to the workshop.
Okay. I mean, given that time, it's probably been quite a while. If you want to start on something, you have a few minutes until you catch up with everybody else. What is everybody's intention for the day? Do they wish to meet with everyone, or do they just wish to start a little bit of morning work? Swan will have arrive and sort of introduce them to people very shortly.
I would probably get lost in my work.
Okay.
As just knowing Jimbo. But I would probably stop to go have breakfast. And then go probably meet everybody for breakfast, but then want to get back to doing that. What has Rocky been up to?
That's a good question. Rocky has left, and then he comes back like maybe 3 hours into the day.
Okay.
And he looks like, he's been in a fight or something. He looks jostled.
What? So he comes back. I go dust him off. What did you get into? And I grab like an apple or something out of my back pocket and I hand it to him.
I starts chewing on it immediately.
Hmm. Oh well. I just put him on my shoulders. Like you take a nap, or I'm gonna go meet the others.
What is I didn't mean to cut off what Voivod was getting up to, what Deus was getting up to right away. What were you starting on at the very least within the or beginning to work on in that workspace? Oh no. He's
Did we
muted.
lose him? Might have went to the bathroom or
He
something.
may have, yeah.
What does Brand do?
Yeah, what's Bran up to?
Probably heading for a bit of breakfast.
Okay.
The timing isn't lining up great right now. And by the way, sorry if the sound is weird. But still trying out this opinion and figuring that whole thing out, and some morning prayers to the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your prayers are very sort of easy to make in this space. You have almost like a closer connection. You find yourself very easy to focus. It's almost odd. It's like this this area promotes worship to a degree. The connection and like the wishfulness of it is quick to manifest. And so so most of you collect for dinner, or for breakfast rather. Swan, you appear with Samantha or Sam in this sort of center temple. priests surrounded by you, surrounded, doing different things. Um, Individuals of different origin sort of making their way to different jobs, doing different tasks. A very, intense sort of golden chantry, intricately carved, um, gold plated, as I said. It seems to go on for quite some distance. Sam sort of welcomes you. She's This is it. This is home. Um, the others that you would have met are somewhere to be seen. Probably after breakfast they'll collect you and try to uh, get you properly blessed and protected and things like that. And you guys can start to do whatever you're gonna go do. Um, do you want to follow me to the cafeteria, or is there something that you need to do first?
No, that'd be fine. I'm not really sure where else to go, and I'd rather not get lost.
Okay, well, getting lost here is a means for exploration, but you should be kept safe. As long as you're within these walls, you should be all right. You're with friends. Even if those friends look like that guy, and you look over and you see this a figure almost uncannily similar to the one that you had just been chased by, but he is a Woden. He is a wooden. He's a wood woad. He just happens to have a very startling appearance, made of almost birch wood, sort of flaky, juddering, very strange, and makes a kind of a whistling noise at you and gives you a wave as he walks by. Um, Sort of a slit mouth, and very, very large eyes, completely empty. Um, but even he looks friendly. You approach the cafeteria. Voivod, now that you're back, how long did you, or not how long, are you going to breakfast or anything like that, or was there, what, and also what were you working on for that short bit of time that you had at the workshop?
I'm probably the type to forget to eat, and then kind of like eat when he realizes that he's
When he's starving, yeah,
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 exactly.
I know the type. Yep.
And so he's going to be working on let's keep doing the same thing, the mechanical version of Unseen Servant,
Go ahead and
because I
make
worked on
me,
it a little bit last time.
yeah, go ahead and make me a Tinker Tools check.
Tinker Tools.
Tinker Tools.
What's the modifier?
That's gonna be intelligence.
Okay. Ooh, do I get some kind of blessing guidance?
I'll say that specifically in this space. I mean, 10 passes anyway. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's not like rolling more gives you much unless you roll a lot, like way over 10, or even
Right,
20.
right.
So you gain your progress towards that for the day. You're making pretty good working on this. Now this is just drawing up the plans, right? At this stage.
I think last time we said, where were we? Ergonomic skeleton of a blueprint of a construct for home economics.
Yeah, so I would say at that point that you have actually completed more or less the test stage of this blueprint after even just a little bit of time, given what this is trying to replicate. You think more or less that you have at least a basis to begin. Some of the more intricate details are a little bit loosey-goosey. You'll have to try to figure out those like individually, but you think that by and large you have the main structure of this thing figured out and how this is going to work.
Okay.
So
Do you want me to DM you a list of stuff I would hope it can do and doesn't need to do, kind of stuff like
Yes,
that?
and given that, I will give you a value that you will try to have to succeed and claim based on that.
Gotcha. And
But I
then
will
you can
say
fill in
material
whatever.
components for crafting today are taken care of on the house. You get as you sort of enter this workshop, you're given what you need to work, or you had them
Okay.
from back home, but you've used up that free supply, so you'll have to start finding your own stuff to start tinkering and things like that.
Okay. All right. I'll work on that after the session and whatnot.
Yeah, sounds good. You guys arrive for breakfast time. You see a whole bunch of different individuals um, cooking all different sorts of foods, either themselves. You see a Minotaur man, white fur, sort of with this big cleaver, chopping huge pieces of meat, and sort of they're like massive. They must have been from like some sort of great beast that was slain, carving them up into different things. You see that there's almost an assembly line coming from this big guy who's cutting big chunks of meat, getting separated off into smaller things and getting pushed outwards. You see different like druids and things like that working on different like vegetarian dishes and things like that. It looks like there's a variety of food here. So you may claim what you will, given your character's tastes and things like that. Bran, what did you grab for breakfast? What are you eating? And also, what are you looking for eating? Where are you sitting by anybody in particular? I will say that you more or less arrive at the same time as everyone else.
Okay. First thing he's going to do is, it's nice that he arrived with everyone else. Man is on a mission. He is looking for some food. And while Bran can be rough and tumble, a lot of how he's made things work over the last while is kind of running cons and that sort of thing. So he's developed a taste for some of the finer things. He's going to find what he can that's basically the closest to the house of like eggs Benedict, but with a breakfast belt.
Oh my god. I think eggs Benedict is my favorite meal. You just hit me hard.
There you go. I mean,
dude,
it's classy and it's delicious. I mean, what else?
Yeah.
So, he's going to find all of that first, and then he'll turn around, and as he sees the folks that he actually knows in the midst of all of this craziness of a whole bunch of freaks and geeks that he has no idea who they are. When he sees Deus, Jimbo, he'll do the cafeteria nod when you've got your hands full. You see someone, you kind of do the upward nod and kind of a head jerk towards a table and kind of go down and claim a spot for folks.
Gotcha. It is more or less a grand mead hall, and you claim this little meal from a very stout dwarven woman who kind of gives you like a nod of appreciation as you go over to her food and grab what you do. Jimbo, what are you up to? What are you getting? What's breakfast look like for Jimbo?
Jimbo gets wide-eyed. He's never seen like a food hall before of this size. He's been down to the local market where they sold some food, but it's nothing grand like this. So he's gonna look for like some like that. He saw that Minotaur chopping meat. He's gonna grab some of that meat and like look for like some hash browns and some kind of fried potato is like his favorite food. And probably a little bit of green. Let's see what would go well. Some peas or carrots.
Nice.
A little breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah. Jimbo eats dinner for breakfast.
I like doing dinner for breakfast. I also like doing breakfast for dinner. I think that's great.
Me too.
That's awesome.
So he's gonna get a nice hearty meal because he knows he's like probably not coming back here until he's done with what he's doing.
Sure. Both of you, were you missing any hit dice by chance? I assume not.
No.
No?
I don't remember ever taking even a short rest to heal.
I think you just kind of toughed it out throughout the day, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then Swan, as you approach this grand sort of eatery, what do you do? Because I think Voivod said that Deus is gone. He's currently just working the day away until he realizes that he's hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entered the cafeteria now.
Yes.
You're gonna get a big ol' howdy do wave from Jimbo, like a cafeteria, like, hey, come over here, you know.
You do that, and she like looks over it, just like, oh, so that was a real person.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna like hear, it's crazy, right? like coming it's loud, like coming across the cafeteria.
I do the schoolyard thing where I just like I attempt to look away and look at literally anything else.
You see a whole bunch of individuals here. You see a dwarven man, who they know as Bardic, going over and just getting like a keg of beer for breakfast and just taking it over to a table of other dwarves.
My hero.
You see a whole bunch of people. This plant man from earlier, he is like picking away at like some sort of chicken thing. You see an older man sitting across the table from a creature that you've never seen. I will say at this point, you've never seen this type of being. Almost this like long limber, blue-skinned individual. They seem to be discussing something in a hushed tone. You see a human woman with violet eyes. She is just kind of making her rounds around the entirety of the place, and she has seemingly like a big stick of like chicken that she's just chewing on. Some sort of large poultry that she's making a meal of. What do you eat for food? What do you grab?
I mean, if there's meat on the menu, I'm gonna try to like get like a balanced meal, but if they're giving out chicken, I'll take some chicken.
Yep. They've got all different sorts of poultry and things like that of various size and origin. One of the best things about being a Fate Given is that you get food from all over the world. So you see different like arrays of spices that you've never interacted with before. Different, seasonings and things like that.
Jimbo's already on his second plate.
Yeah, this is a good place to eat. This is a good time. So do you sit with anybody in particular, or do you purposefully like move away from that group?
It's at the point where it's like, if they call it again, I will reluctantly go sit with them because it's just like I want it to stop.
Jimbo would definitely do that. Be like, come and sit over here with us.
Yeah,
We've got lots to talk about.
She'd just be like, huh, and then she'd walk over.
You see, as Sam watches you, like, kind of go off to your group, she kind of gives a nod, and then she sees her own group. You see a halfling individual, a, like, giant Goliath, and a few others, as she makes her way to her place. Alright, you guys are having breakfast. What are you guys doing? Anything to discuss, or what are you doing?
So, first thing, it's like, not many words are coming from me. I'm just like, oh, this is so good. I'm just devouring food.
Is it messy eating? Like food's going everywhere, or is it?
It's surprisingly not. Like he eats, like it's just really fast, but it's not messy. He's not like just like stuffing like It's like he's got like a nice form like while he's like cutting the meat. He's like just taking nice like large bites, but it's not like shoveling food.
Poppy made sure that you weren't a messy eater. He made sure that
right.
I see. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. But no, he's just digging in. He said, "You're gonna have to come by the forge later and check out what I'm working on." And I kind of pull out the blade from my bag and kind of like put it on the table and like it's kind of it's a 6-eyed blade, or it's like a short sword that has 6 eyes or 3 eyes on each side, but it's now starting to like look blue and shimmering with this kind of blue aura, and it's almost chilling like air around it.
Make an intelligence check, Swan, as you see those 6 eyes.
Do I have to if I recognize it as the
if you in person recognize it, yes, you recognize it immediately.
Why exactly do you have a sword of that?
Well, remember when I told you my family was attacked? Well, the guys who had these swords, and they were actually nice quality, so I figured I would test my new hammer on them before I either melt down the metal or, use this masterpiece.
Well, things with those eyes were the ones that attacked my village, so not the biggest fan, I'll admit.
No, but with a little bit of effort, I can always change the design. I'm just testing this, but I'm sure by the time I'm done with this, you won't even recognize it.
Sounds like you know what you're doing then.
You know it. And I'm going down to like chowing down on like another piece of mutton or something.
After not too much time, you watch as the older individual that had been speaking to the Vidalcan man, the Vidalcan stands up and sort of notices you all gathered. Have you met Spirik Ode yet? I don't remember. I have to get my campaign straight.
He was mentioned, but wasn't. We haven't met yet.
Okay,
it was
so
one of those. He was going to want to talk to us.
Gotcha. So fucking he comes down. He's very tall. He walks with this almost unnatural, like mechanical grace. As he approaches your table, he's like, "I have not met you before. Welcome to my chantry. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. I'm Spirik Ode. I have been sent to gather you all at noonish, so that you can be properly blessed and inducted into our little group here. I welcome you to our city, those of you who are not from around these parts, and hope you the very best of travels on your futures. I must ask, do you have any potential working actions that I can take to ensure that you have the best of capabilities going forward? Is there anything you desire or require as a group? I will be granting you, a similar method of returning as you had seen before. If you have seen those little stones that I happen to pass out to our most honored members of the group, I shall be giving your group a single stone. More can be awarded to you later, should you require sort of payment for your efforts. As for payment, your salary will be given to you just later this evening. Payday is coming up around the bend. We will be discussing things like this, yes.
I don't even think we've had a chance to fully introduce ourselves and get to know each other, so not sure what we would need, but we could definitely get back to you on that, unless the others have something to say.
Would you mind if I sat with you all for a bit of beverage and conversation? I have not. It's been a while.
Of course.
And he creaks as he sits down. And he takes a seat.
I think Rocky would run and hide from him, or Rocky's probably like in somebody's food or stealing food from like other people, like from like hiding under tables, taking like little bits, eating like brown scraps.
The Goliath of Sam's group finishes his food and sort of like knocks off like a piece of the meat off his table, and it just like falls to the ground, and you see it in a half second. Rocky has like tackled the meat and is already just chewing it to pieces. Like what is left of like basically half a pig is being consumed.
Okay.
Good, because Bran would have fought him against the Rocky trying to take some of the eggs Benedict.
Oh no, yeah, he knows better not to take from the table because he's gotten a wallop or two, but he'll like he won't steal from anything from my table at least. He knows not to take my food.
Spirik Ode will look over at your Eggs Benedict and say, "Eggs Benedict, a fucking baller choice. Wonderful. Well, absolutely fantastic. Yes, I am Spirik Ode. I am the council member for this region of the city, of Bronze Song. I am not a fate given. I simply represent you politically, and am sort of a guide for you all.
I'm gonna put my hand out and shake his hand. And well, my name is Jimmy John Jameson Jones. It is my absolute pleasure, sir.
Ah, are you by perchance from the Nemoran continent? Are you of Vretian descent, my dear boy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I remember when my predecessor last met your people, he said that it was a hellish landscape, but filled with some of the most wonderful people you have ever met. I have not had a chance to make it your way myself, but I hear that the cuisine is delectable.
Well, you could say that. It is one of a kind.
Wonderful. And you there, you seem to be not of Wanty descent. You look reptilian. Are you sunborn? Or are you one of the new unheard of races to walk across this land?
The second.
That's actually a good question. I've never thought about that. I thought you were just a lizard, but you look more than just a
I
lizard.
like
to me.
hard squint at that.
I used to. There's these turtle people that live to the east of me, but you know, there's also those bad gators. But you know, he doesn't. He just keeps talking.
Yes. Well, you see, I asked this question. 20 years ago, there was a phenomenon called the second placement. The first one happening 270 years ago. We live in a sort of world where once in a while new beings will just appear in both founded cities and unexplored lands, and it is our job within the Farseekers Guild, which I represent partially within Parliament, to sort of find these new individuals and ensure their safety, not to interfere so much as sort of say hello and allow access to the greater world. We live upon a very great and massive planet, you see, and walking by foot is quite tiresome. It takes several years to get to even a new land. Very troublesome indeed. Very perilous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, yes. Now I see 4 of you. Where's your 5th? Because obviously we're implying that Dwarven Lady is also here. That Miracle Volcara is not, in fact, dying of probably overworkiness.
She's AFK.
Yeah. Well, now that you mention it, I thought he would come. I thought he'd be sleeping or come in, but I haven't seen him.
I shall show you a trick quickly that I have learned that some do. Just simply focus on him and his sort of identity in your mind, and you should be able to locate his general location not after long. It is a tool that innately Fate-Given have, at least for their brothers, sisters, and siblings alike. Should be a very simple little half incantation, you could call it, to locate.
Is it like a roll, or is it?
Go
just
ahead,
just focus?
make a wisdom check if you wish to try to find out what general location and distance they are. Oh my god. You focus for half a second and you can...
I do that thing where I put both of my fingers on my temples.
You focus for half a second, and it takes almost all of your focus away from you. You suddenly become in the eyes of a Mr. Deus as he is sketching across this piece of blueprint and working to compose this great little contraption that he's working on. You actually lose your own vision temporarily and return after a moment to your own. You know that he is not but a few 100 feet away, and he is within a grand temple, currently working on something, and is located to your direct southwest, I believe.
I'm going to relay all of that. He is very close. It looks like he's working on something. I see some blueprints of some kind. But he must not be hungry yet.
Very well. Just ensure that he is able to arrive at noon. That is when I have planned a scheduled meeting with Eleanor himself down below. You shall make your descent at that time and meet him and speak on a few things, and then he shall impart a blessing upon you and keep you safe at the very least. And then you are free to do literally whatever you want. I could not care, but hold interest in the results nonetheless.
Indeed. Well, as soon as I'm done eating here, I'll go fetch him up, and we'll get to the meeting. Where do you want us to actually go?
That central chamber of the chantry, if you could, where the three dragons are located, that would be beneficial. Any other location from that would be a bit silly. I will keep that room clear, as it is a sort of private event.
Is that like the room where you teleport into?
Yes,
Or is
that
that...
exact room.
Okay.
Yes, teleportation would be redirected to the central city,
Cool.
given that time. Yes.
Okay. Well, what are y'all doing?
Brand's a little edgy with the representative of this part of the city here, part of the parliament, not knowing who his friends are, but Brand definitely knowing who his friends aren't. So yeah, he's been kind of a little fidgety and is kind of trying to avoid eye contact too terribly much right now.
Sure.
It's not often he's uncomfortable, but it's very obvious that he's uncomfortable.
Yeah, not knowing, who his enemies are. The bad guy, the guy who you don't like, is specifically from Bran Brujan, which is the outer part of the city, the innermost part of the city, and and certainly the center crossroads individual. You think that this guy would have more sway over than that individual, more politically powerful than the individual who you currently fear. But also of great means himself and a parliament member, maybe to be trusted, maybe not to be. That is a totally valid concern. He kind of regards you for just half a second and gives you almost a nod. I hope you found your first nights of stay here pleasant. You always have a place here for as long as you reside. I shall be getting you your things, but momentarily, after you meet with the planet god himself. Again, my office is located just outside that main chamber. If you ever wish to discuss anything or require anything of me, I would be most interested in deciding and finding out what you require and need and what your group should wish to accomplish. Very soon, we will be giving you a pass to a location within the world itself to go explore and sort of lay claim to. And I don't mean that in a political sense, I mean that in a responsibility sense. You see, we, and I say we, but I mean the fate given, keep track of things and ensure that life sustains itself and ticks forward and moves forward ever strongly and stays preserved, and the natural order of life and death is preserved, and our world does not crumble apart and is destroyed from the numerous creatures and entities that wish to destroy us. I heard that your group lost a member. I am sorry, but it gained another in strength, so it is simply how things are.
Indeed. Such is the cycle of life and death.
Yes. And I can guarantee you that his soul was delivered to its final place. We received word of that from the Raven Queen herself, guaranteed. Well, if there's
Hey,
anything...
excuse me, you get like direct talk to her?
Why, yes. She is Asgareth's most closest ally. They together created this entire primaterial realm. The two of them being the last survivors, other than our own Warden Soul, of the previous era, before the realm of Eleanor. Yes.
Well, I mean, I thought she felt. Well, I mean, kind of like right next door when I said my prayers this morning. But well, I mean, color me shocked.
It is very possible, if you grow just a bit stronger, that you may meet yourself, meeting face to face with the Raven Queen herself within these halls. Not everyone can see her, but if you are especially attuned to the aspects of death, it is very possible. Yes. Well, for now I will leave you. Go find your friend, and we shall convene again momentarily for a sort of meeting. Goodbye, and this was a pleasure.
It was definitely ours.
Brand nods, but doesn't say anything about it being a pleasure.
Yes. He gets up with his sort of like half-drink mug and continues back to where the old man was sitting. He gives you sort of a very hard look as he sort of looks down and away and starts to eat. What are you guys doing?
Still working.
So,
Yeah.
out of character, did we ever get the answer to what Suan is, or is it just an undescribed?
Oh no, I didn't tell you.
Yeah, Swan did
Okay.
not say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was just. I know you gave me the stink eye, but I don't know.
Swan gave a very appropriate answer to the inquisitiveness of all.
They
that.
gave me a multiple choice question, so I answered the multiple choice question. They never asked for a specific.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well,
I probably have my node.
to me, Jimbo thinks you're just like lizard folk, not like a overgrown lizard, but like because
Some-
he would
yeah.
he would know some some passing through.
And there are a variety of lizard races and things like that. They broadly go under the name of Sunborn. Even the turtles do. They are referred to as that loosely, if not specifically as turtles. All right. After a while of eating, do you guys go out to go find Deus?
Yeah. Well, around what time is it?
Right now, you've been working for a little bit. It depends on how early you guys woke up. I'm gonna say that even with attuning that weapon to the element of cold would have taken a few hours. Swan getting here, and sort of because of time zones and how that works, would have been pushed forward a few hours within the day from the Grove to here. So there's not much time that they would have been, between wake up time and currently.
Yeah, because I imagine Jimbo fell asleep around 7 or 8 that evening.
Yeah.
And then woke up early around 5
Mm-hmm.
or 6. He's an early riser.
Yeah. I think we're caught up with just about everything. I think more or less it's just a few hours, maybe even less than an hour away from noonish.
Okay. And I would
a late breakfast.
Yeah. I would say I'm gonna go get our good buddy Deus. Does anyone want to come with me?
Might as well. And looks at Swan and how about you, Snake Eyes?
First, don't call me that. Second, I know where else to go, and I have to follow you to eventually meet, so might as well.
Care to give us a name then?
My name is Swan.
Brian here.
The pleasure is ours.
All right. The party meeting and introducing one another. You leave to the greater city and begin making your way to eventually this grand temple. You notice now, Jimbo, that despite being very close by, there's actually quite a bit of traffic and also bridges that need to be crossed to actually get to this location. You have to make almost a loop around an entire section of the city just to get there.
Did we pass the? You said the Raldir one is before it.
The Raldir one is on the same loop, but it is technically
Okay.
before it. Yes.
Okay. I would probably stop for a second and look at the temple along the way. Like not go in, but just like kind of stare at it.
The temple is belching out this great, like, giant column of smoke. You see all different sorts of individuals like entering and exiting it with different work in progress. You see like carts and materials being taken up through the top layer of the city. You look down just a bit as this side is flanked by two columns where ships enter the city and sort of like disperse their products. You see two ships docked unloading and two ships docked loading up with different things, different weapons, and this looks like a great forge here. Whole bunch of different individuals doing business and worshiping and crafting and creating things within this place. Not only just blacksmithing things, but also all different types of craftsmanship is happening here.
You could see like little iron nuggets in my eyes, like glowing. But first the blessing. I guess keep walking along.
Mm-hmm. You enter, you see this grand twisting engine, which might even be like almost frightening to some of you based on your exposure to technology and things like that.
Yep.
To like grand temples and massive spaces like this. You see all different sorts of people. You see a guy just with a jetpack flying by. He explodes. And
oh God!
you enter this thing attuned to.
Did he make it?
He made it. He's got a little parachute. You enter this temple, and and see hard at work Deus with these blueprints in his hand.
Mm-hmm. I imagine I kind of approach up, kind of not like stealthily, but kind of quietly, and just put my hand on your shoulder and be like, "Hey, buddy."
Oh, you
Try to give you that spook.
Hello, you found me. How did you find me? Where'd you come from?
Well, it turns out if you focus really hard, and I'm gonna put my fingers on my temple and kind of do the same thing, you can see through each other's our eyes. I saw through your eyes that you were working on this blueprint, and it kind of I felt that you were like here, so I came here.
Quite the connection. I heard that we can feel each other, but I didn't know you can see through each other. It's kind of crazy, kind of bizarre.
Yep. I'll believe anything at this point.
How far are the other guys?
That's up to them. That's up to them if they came in this temple or if they got distracted along the way or if they're doing something else completely.
I'm there. I've slow walked behind, but I'm like a comfortable distance to not be intruding in the conversation.
Sure.
Brand's right up there with them.
When I see Swan, I'm gonna say, "Oh, so you're real." He did say we'd meet pretty soon, but this is quite soon.
Oh, and I forgot, and I'm gonna produce like a tiny little wrapped up plate for you of just some like random bits of food. I didn't know like what to get you, so I got you just a little care package.
What kind of food did you get me? That's the question.
It's got some greens, it's got a little bit of meat, it's got some poultry, or it's got some red meat, some poultry, some hash browns. Probably a little bit too many hash browns because it's my favorite. It's like, oh, he's gonna like this. Just an assortment of just like what I saw in there. I didn't really know what to get you, so I just got like just a little bit of everything.
Well, Deus is the type to eat a lot and not really think too much about the flavor, just to feel himself. But he's going to say, "Oh, you even brought me food." I forgot to eat as usual. But thanks. He's gonna start eating, but he's gonna look towards Swan for a response.
Sorry. Something like my parents came and asked me something. Can you repeat
fine.
that?
Oh, I said, "Oh, you're real." I heard we were gonna meet each other soon, but I didn't think it'd be this soon.
Yes, I thought it was a dream as well. I thought this would be all fake, but supposedly it is.
Well, you're with us now, so it's nice to meet you. Well, I guess I never introduced myself. My name is Deus. Nice to meet you. And you are?
Call me Swan. Nice to meet you as well. this circumstance, anyways.
Yes, you like it here?
It is different.
I think this place is great. The city's really bustling, and I really love this temple in particular. There's so many interesting things to see and study and learn.
Yes,
And he's
well,
gonna keep eating.
suppose it's not enough trees for my liking.
You're the nature-loving type, huh?
And yes,
I'm sure they got a shrine to one of the nature gods around here, and I'm sure it must be bustling with some kind of forestry.
Well, you're in the temple of Primina right now. Do you worship a god yourself?
she will shake her head no.
Well, I hope someone can introduce you to all the... What's the right word? Is it pantheons? Divinity?
Just the pantheon. Yeah, you could say that. I mean,
Okay.
or actually, you could say either one. That both are valid.
Oh, okay. I wonder which one I would use. Probably pantheons. Yeah, I hope someone can introduce you to all the pantheons if you don't know about them. Unless maybe you just choose to not believe in any of them. I suppose that's okay too.
Well, I do believe in them, but I don't believe in a specific one, I suppose.
Yeah, Raldir's the best. He makes such cool items and weapons and all other types of cool gadgets.
Raldir is pretty great. My father's a big fan of his.
Oh, I must meet your father one day.
Yeah, I told you he likes to make armors and he's very cool. I think you'd like him.
We'll have to commune. But first,
Speaking of which, and you can see I'm very panicked. I totally forgot. I need to contact him and see if he's okay.
oh yeah.
I'm gonna run to like the official, the what's his name? That guy. I wrote his name down. Hold on. It doesn't even have to be him, but what's his name? Let's see here. No, it's Asua Cord. Sua.
Yeah, Sue Accord.
Okay, I'm gonna find him or any other kind of official dude here.
Sure, he's back at work, back outside, assembling some sort of conduit, like putting it back together. Seems like something went wrong here.
So I'm just gonna leave my food and leave my party and just be like, I need to contact someone. Is there anyone I can go to contact someone back at my home in the Teeth?
Oh, yes. Do you have any? I actually am an accomplished-ish mage, a journeyman, I would say. I can cast a spell that can contact people.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Would you be able to do that for me?
I need something to work with, a name, an image of them, perhaps. I need some sort of familiarity, I suppose.
Of course. I'm gonna use minor illusion, and I'm gonna produce an image of him. I'm gonna say his name is Armis Orologium. He's in the Teeth. He is one of the what's that word? Alumni of the guild, the workers guild there.
Sure. Go ahead and type out a 25-word message, and he will send that using sending.
Okay, let me just work on that.
Sure.
I'm gonna rebundle the food up and be like, you try to do something nice. And I tie it back up. And I guess we'll follow after you. Or at least I'll follow after you. I don't know what they're doing.
Prince. Prince no longer.
I didn't hear what he said.
Sorry. Ramsey just here for the ride.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
While you're figuring the message out, I'm gonna kind of come up from behind you and say we need to go meet up with what's his name? Ode?
Oh yes, Spirit Ode.
Ode. Sparic Ode?
Yep.
Sparic Ode. Yeah. I gotta go meet up with this guy named Sparic Ode. He's gonna give us a proper blessing. And then he said we can get back to doing with whatever we want. And he said we're gonna work out some stipends and other stuff. So Suwan, where exactly are you from? I'm from the swamp of Naramora. Or Varesia, sorry.
I have my own village somewhere in the grove.
In the grove.
So for reference,
Like west of Halhazar,
yeah.
right?
Yep, this big splotch of green,
Ooh.
right in the middle of Arabarat. You are from just northeast of Varesia in Silicica, which is the western continent of Naramora. The location where Zoran's character died was this island, Claw Creek, northeastern Naramora. The Teeth is located up here, specifically Hillfisker. That is where Deus's father currently resides. And Miracle is from Malualur, Elisana. And
Brand is from Halhazar, right?
Bran is from good old Helhazar. Oh, he's actually not. He's from Eldaria, and then he traveled to the Ved Coast, Helhazar.
All right.
Okay.
Where do you want the message? You want it in chat?
Yeah, wherever. You can actually put it in the Roll20 chat. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And he will begin to type, and he will respond with his message in time. All right. Basically, you get back from Asu Accord. He says, all is well. There was an attack, but it was handled. Nobody hurt. Hope for the best. See you soon. And that was it.
Oh, thank goodness. Sounds like he was able to manage. We have
Glad to hear Paul's okay.
We have to put a stop to this. It's hard to rest sometimes if knowing your family could be in danger.
Believe me, I know.
Sorry, I had to run out. I completely forgot. I guess sometimes you forget things after waking up.
Oh no, of course. But we need to get back to the main hub in the chantry to receive a proper blessing.
Oh yeah?
That's actually how I found out where you were. Is the guy who wanted us to do this, his name was Sparic Ode, said to come meet us, and we're gonna work out some accommodations and basically a payroll, and we'll get our proper fate-given blessing.
Yes, I think we were told by... Oh, I can't remember from last session.
I think it was Baldric who told us, or...
Yeah, Bardock.
Bardic? What? No.
Someone told us about Spirit Ode.
I think Bardic did talk about Spirit Code. He was the guy who was like, that's the guy to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the keeper of the chantry and representative of
Bardock.
This part of the city, I believe. Yeah, I would like to talk to him. Where can we find him?
He's gonna be back at the chantry in the main... He said to meet us by the big dragon statues for a proper blessing.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. Let me just pack up real quick. So I'm gonna run back into my workshop area. I'm gonna collect my node. I guess I'm gonna... How do you withdraw him? Put him away?
Yeah,
Shut
how
him
do you
down?
want to try to put this guy away? What do you...
Is there like a button?
Yeah, there's a button. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I pressed the button
All right,
and
you
put
press
it
the-
back in my.
He gives you a little salute, and he turns back into a little ball. His eye closes, and it retracts back into his body.
Okay.
What was he working on? 'Cause he said he was just running around fixing
He
stuff.
was like doing a whole bunch of maintenance. There was like a torch sconce that was like just a little bit crooked that he like put back in place. There was a piston that was like losing pressure for some reason, so he fixed some pipe work. He's just doing a whole bunch of different stuff. And there was like a few gnomes that were just like following him, just like watching and taking notes, just like freaking out, like, what is this thing?
They're learning from him.
Whose dog is this? Yeah.
Since he's sort of a mascot, I guess my clockwork owl would probably like monitor the node
Sure.
and
Makes sense. Yeah.
both be mascots and do their cute mascot things,
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna pack up my stuff. I guess what was I gonna do? Oh, I guess I'll talk to Asua and be like, I guess I can head out. Thanks for letting me use the workshop. Might be back, might not be, but anyways, thank you. I'll see you again. Goodbye.
He gives you a deep bow. My pleasure. And I can assume that these are your friends. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you need anything, this is where I both reside and work. You may see me around the city. Otherwise, welcome to Helazar, and I wish you a very pleasant experience. Goodbye. And he returns back to his place of work. Doing what he was doing, trying to fix that street.
All right, should we head to Mr. Ode?
I'm incredibly sorry. I forgot that for today only, I have to leave in 5 minutes because I made a plan before I joined this game.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I forgot that I did it until the person that I was supposed to do something with messaged me.
Okay. That's fine. Then we'll call it here. You guys go back to the thing, back to the Chantry of the Dawn. You speak to Mr. Spiricode, who is there waiting for you. The lights are dim within this room. You can see the aspects of Lumior, Tythene, and Asgarath carved within the stone. The Blood Dragon, the All-Creator, and, of course, the Mithril King, Lumior, all sort of presented in this space, a place of true neutrality and draconic worship. The stone at the center, you are led over to that place. Spiricode explains. Stepping upon this stone will take you deep into the core of the world. It is an elevator. When you are done with your journey beneath, you may return up here and begin your journey as fate given across the wild land of Aelinor. It should not be too long of a process. Do what you will down there, ask what questions you wish of the planet god. To speak to him again, after you are fate given, all you do is you must dream. That is all that is required. Hello, Deus. I have been informed of you. We are looking forward to your pursuits. And he gives a deep bow and sort of gestures towards the stone. As you guys step upon the stone, the platform lowers and begins to descend rapidly below into the center of the world. And that is where we'll close out for next time. You guys rapidly falling into the heart of the planet.
Dang. Okay.
Lefagor. Sorry, it's only for today. I should be good for the
It's all
next
good.
sessions.
It's all good. I don't usually
That's
like
okay.
going too late either. I was hoping that we'd get at least this far, and we did. So that's good. Next session, we'll start. You guys will go somewhere new and do Dungeons and Dragons-y things rather than getting a whole bunch of story thrown at you and things like that. So
Is Empo going to be back for this next one?
Because the next one's the important one, right?
Well, yeah, technically, I mean, the next one is the important one. If he's here, that's good. If he's not, that's also fine at this point.
Okay.
We'll take him when we can get him. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what
I don't know if it was this one or the next one that's important,
Yeah.
but I know that this is the thing we need to do.
You guys did quite a bit today, so I'll give you some experience and things like that. You're nearing level 2. So that's good.
Is Rocky level up?
Rocky's close to leveling up. Just with you guys, you're both level 1, so you're on the same track level-wise, so that's good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, actually, go ahead. He has 5 hit points now at this point.
Okay. That
Yeah.
piece of meat.
I'm going to be heading out. Thank you for the session, and I look forward to playing with all of you in the future.
Yeah, definitely had a lot of fun. You go have some more fun tonight.
Sorry that my character is going to be a cold bitch for the next, like, 3 weeks.
We need different characters. It's fun. It's all good.
That's why I'm trying to be the jolly guy. It's good that we have the dichotomy.
Yes. And then we've got Bran, who's that little extra chaos too. It's all good. It's a very good dynamic, I think.
I think Bran's also kind of like the kind of mysterious.
Yes.
He's not cold, but he's mysterious.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's down to earth too. There's a lot of weird shit going on, and you guys will get to like normal life pretty soon. But Fate Given stuff is weird, man. I mean, it's. I understand. There's a lot going on, and different people have different reactions to that kind of thing.
One day we'll play as a full 5 team. 5
I'll be
stack.
heading up. Bye.
Alright.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Alrighty, man.
Take
You have a
care,
good one. All right.
All right. I'll end stream
Good
now, and we
session.
can sit here and chat if we want to.
Alright.
Oh yeah, post. We don't want to give the spoilers away.
Have you been uploading to YouTube as well?
Yeah. All these are uploaded. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute and deafen quick. All right, that was a lot of fun. We moved the story over a little bit. We are nearing the beginning of our story here with our Tuesday group, so that'll be a lot of fun. Thank everybody for coming by, whoever did. This group will be having another session on Tuesday next week, hopefully at 7 p.m. Central Time. We have another group playing on Sunday at 7, same time Sunday, the Feral 5. Their whole kind of journey in the western continents of Versia and Monondoa, exploring a vast jungle. This campaign exploring the eastern continent of Nermora and the lands beyond. So thank you all for tuning in and things like that. Appreciate it all. And to my players, thank you so much for coming by and playing. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun times putting stories together for you guys.